Welcome to another episode of Digenet Podcast. Once again, I'm Armand.
It's your boy Raylo. What's up, man?
Tatum over here.
There we go. And we have been talking about human monogamy.
Yeah.
Debated whether or not to record this because some of these opinions may not be popular among certain people, particularly our significant others.
Right.
But we were earlier congratulating Quentin on his single man status.
Right.
You know, he's been under the thumb. Now he's free. Okay? And he's asking us. It's like, you know, what do I do? And Raymond and I's response is whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. I mean, because I lived a single life for a while, and I remember a couple times, like Christmas, especially if I didn't have to come home. I'll chill. Woke up, like how you said, watch a football game, go to sleep. Probably wouldn't wake up to the next day.
Yeah. When actually, okay, even when married, because I got married in Asia, right, Philippines specifically, right, and I owned a big ass bar over there. Okay, I didn't know from minute to minute where I was gonna be, right, where I was gonna wake up, where I was doing anything, right. Yeah, and you know, not because I was out there like, you know, just fucking around. No, just because, you know, just having fun with the guys necessarily, right? But before I was married, and I could be wherever I wanted to be, I was wherever I wanted to be, right? Wake up here, wake up there, and I'm not saying waking up with different people, like with different women every time, but like if I'm tired, want to crash in my car, I'm crashing my car, right? If like,
Damn.
I mean, I used to gamble a lot when I in those earlier days, right? And if things were going good at the tables, I may not leave to who knows whenever, right? And you know, when you're feeling lucky, when you're feeling good and things are moving your way, you just got to take a quick breather and get back in there. I might head out to the car, grab a couple seconds of rest, go back in, right? Anyway, but you could do that. I mean, Quentin, you can do that.
Yeah.
You're in a position that you can, if you wanna live the life of some weird ass, you know, there are songs. Have you guys ever heard those songs that describe a wild night out and what the hell happened type of song?
Yeah. You can live like The Hangover.
Yes.
Yeah, you can just wake up. You're like, you know, I'm going to Vegas today. You know?
Dude, there's a song by shit. You guys ain't gonna know this. There's like an emo type band. They're called what the hell are they called? And I'm blanking out today because I just got back from Vegas, so I'm just kind of a bit tired. But Panic at the Disco, I believe they are.
Yeah, Panic at the Disco.
They got this song called I can't remember, but basically it's one of those songs that describes waking up and wondering what the hell happened, retracing your steps type of song, right? Yeah, and it's you know that you can be that, or like that. What's that? There's another Katy Perry song that's like that.
I Kissed the Girl and I Liked It.
No, not that one. Though that could be it too. But,
right.
But there's another Katy Perry song about a night gone wrong type scenario, right? Your goal is to live a night gone wrong scenario continuously until you got to take a rest.
I feel like a bad influence right now. Like you tell it.
Dude, this is a single man. There is no such thing as a bad influence. This man is single, right?
I mean, yeah, I get it. I mean, but he still got a daughter. He don't want to wake up and his daughter, like, you know what I'm saying, he arrested and, you know, his face is all plastered.
His daughter is old enough to know what life is really like.
Okay, and I get what you're saying.
See, remember, it's funny. I have, and he may see this someday. I have a friend, I'm not going to say his name, though. I got a friend whose wife, and there's several people like this. There are people I know from the past who are forbidden from being around me.
Really?
Because I'm a bad influence.
You know what? I you know, at one point in time I was like that. But yeah, I'm not like that no more.
So think about it. Okay, describe me to your friends. Okay, what does he do? Like, what are his hobbies? What does he collect? Oh, he collects
Yeah.
alcohol.
Yeah.
Right, you guys can. Okay, you guys on the podcast viewers can't see it, but off to my right is one of the most extensive collections of Johnny Walker Blue you'll ever see in your life.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I collect alcohol. Yeah, that's my collection. I got what do I smoke? Yeah, cigarettes. Yeah, cigars. Yeah, weed. No, believe it or not. Just never.
That's why people stayed away from me.
There you go.
I was a big roster
You're
for a
that
moment.
guy, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I bounced out to Asia for a while, right? Lived there for close to a decade. Owned the largest biker bar in Southeast Asia. Okay, and it is anybody out there who's ever dreamed about owning a bar in like a tropical country. Yeah, it's everything you think it is. Okay, and that's the problem. It's everything you think it is, and after a while, that tends to become so. If you're that guy who owns a big ass bar in the Philippines or in like Mexico or in somewhere in South America or in Thailand, okay, if you're that dude, okay, yes, it is everything you think it's going to be. It's some crazy wild ass party, things that you only see in movies happen to you, okay, but if you're like in your 30s, if you don't get out of that life, that's going to be your life when you're like 80 years old. And that's the one thing that we always said when we were over there. We'd be hanging out at other bars, and me and my friends looking around, and we'd see like some 70-year-old American dude with some girl who's obviously 15. Okay. And I'm looking at him. It's an American. It's probably a former American serviceman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we're looking there, and it's not uncommon. So over there, nobody looks twice, depending what city you're in, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are certain cities that are, that just turn away. I mean, big deal, no big deal, right?
Yeah.
Of course, around polite company, people are gonna say crap, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is a perfect segue because we already have the perfect topic for this. Quentin, you can't be living like Bill Clinton in these Epstein
Yeah,
photos.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't be living like that though.
But no,
You can
actually,
do anything you want in the world.
Quentin, if you want to live something close to that, let's say you want to live that in a more moralistic sense. So everyone's going to be over like 18. Okay, let's use 18 as a threshold, just because it's what's legal here. Okay, but I suggest that you go hang out in my bar in the Philippines. Okay, you can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, like I think the consent there might be 16. I don't know. I can't remember.
Guys, give me 1 second. I got it. I wanted to do this before the podcast. Let me handle this real business real quick. Hold on.
He's going to the bathroom.
Oh, what's good, man?
Yeah. See, bad influence? I don't think so.
He said what?
So that's the question. What is a bad influence?
But I've had bad influences around my life all the time.
I
don't always choose to follow.
See, we're not trying to get you to smoke crack or anything like that, right? We're not handing you any coke, right? We're just encouraging you to be your best self.
I understand. I get that.
I wonder why we never brought this up before. Yeah, because you are the single dude among us.
It just doesn't. It's different. It's a whole different. It's not just. It's just me now.
Think about it like this, okay?
That's it.
Okay. This is something that I've been told a lot. I am essentially, and you see my place. It's like stepping back. When I say it's like stepping back into time, it doesn't look like it's 1980. But what it looks like is some college kid's place, right? I mean, like, as an adult, I have all the same interests as I did when I was younger, except now I got the finances to enjoy and indulge them. Right? Think about that, man. You're in your 50s now, okay? And you're in your 50s, except you're like in the same spot you were when you were in your 20s.
understand. But it's a whole different
You're a
life now.
50-year-old, you're a 50-plus-year-old single dude, right? With a good income, right? You can do what the hell you want now, right? All the things that, so when I was younger, the only thing stopping me was lack of funds to do something, right? Okay. That ain't the case anymore, right? It's like you have the ability to have a midlife crisis without somebody getting on you for it. Dude, like I've been living a midlife crisis since I was like 30 something essentially. I mean, like, ever since I did the bar thing. I mean, I've been a kid the whole time. Right? So my son's grown now and he's out. So we're empty nesting. And it feels good. Right? Except you can do what I do, but you can throw the whole women thing into the mix. Like I can indulge everything else except for that. Hey, remember, I'm trying to convince him that he's in the best part of his life. He's in those, we don't want to call him golden years because that makes him sound like he's about to go out to pasture. He's in that prime time, right?
Yeah.
Everything is like he is like he was when he was 21, except now with money.
Yeah. I think it's a great time in life. It's what a time to be alive.
Yeah, like look at Raymond though. Raymond, how old are you again? You're 38?
38.
38, okay. So picture this, man. So Raymond, how old's your son?
7.
7. Okay, so you're talking about really having to provide him with distinct direct support for another, let's say, at least 11 years. Depending on how you guys are together, you could decide you want to keep him under your wing longer, but at least 11 years. You'll be almost 50 by the time that dude heads to college, right? If he does do, I mean, like nowadays, college is not necessarily a must, but you could drive for that. I'm going to assume since his mom's got the education, he's going to want it too.
Yeah, and honestly, he was like one of the first kids I ever experienced was like, I want to go to college.
He wants to go to college?
Yeah.
There we go. So you're probably, if you guys do what I recommend, do the financially smart thing, you'll keep him at home and let him go to a community college to get enough credits and everything so that by the time he transfers as a junior to wherever he wants to go or you want to help him go to, it's easy to get in, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been talking about that a lot lately because like I had a safety net, but it's like having an active safety net, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where I want to provide that for my son. I like because when I went to school, of course I did it the smart way. Just I don't know, like I just did it the smart way, just unintentionally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always went to junior college was always the road to a regular college where I didn't have to pay that much. So I have lower debt. I will always put that into them. Unless you got like full scholarships, you're not going to that 4-year university, big
dude,
dog.
And your age group is lucky because I don't know how they did it with you, Quentin, but for me, and this is what's funny, my work with other groups, like one of the guys, he was at the time he was a college vice president, I think he was, but I was helping him create this program to basically instill a college going mindset into kids to try to get more, because we've been talking about that for a long time because of I don't want to make it racial, but as an Asian person, we have to go to college, right? It's not a choice for us, right? Growing up, my next step after high school was going to college. It was no other choice. I didn't think there was any. It wasn't like I was being forced, that's how I was raised to believe, right? I was raised to believe that was the case. And it just, like after 8th grade, you go to 9th grade, right? Finish middle school, you go to high school. Then after high school, you go to college, right? That was how it's supposed to be. And I never thought of any other alternative, right? And that's what my friend was trying, as a community college vice president, was trying to create a program like that. And I was helping him build the app and the website for it to have college ambassadors go to all the feeder high schools to basically create these clubs and programs reaching out to kids as young as 8th grade to get them to have that mentality, right? But when I was a kid, going to college meant going to a 4-year, right? So I didn't even consider going to a community college. Back then we called them junior colleges. I didn't even consider that. In fact, at that time for us, going to a community college was pretty much like you failed.
You know what? That's how it was when I moved to Texas.
Was it the same thing for you at that?
Man, I felt like a loser going to junior college. Where when I was here and I went to Gardena High School, like I tell people all the time, and I wasn't no dumb kid, but I thought college was like for super smart people. I never thought that you can just go to college as just a regular person until one day I was ditching and I just happened to stumble into the college
You were
office.
ditching.
I was ditching. I was just outside and when I wasn't supposed to, saw a truant officer. Then I looked and I was like, what is this? I walked in the office and it was the college office and they told me about college. I was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't know that I can go, with C's. You know what I'm saying? Like, or even honestly, I mean, that's one of the reasons I left Los Angeles. It didn't feel real. Like I didn't have no goal, I guess, like in life at that point in time.
Wait, what 4 year can you get into with C's?
No, not just. I mean, but she also talks about junior
Oh,
college.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can get into a junior college with C's.
Oh yeah, of
You
course.
like
Yeah,
really, as long as you pass high school, you can get
yeah,
into a junior
yeah,
college.
yeah, yeah, yeah. As long as there's junior colleges don't have. I mean, they let anybody with a high school diploma. Now, what I'm talking about
Right.
is when I was in high school, um, being and the funny thing at that time, it wasn't even an Asian thing. All
What?
my white friends, uh, all my friends, period, of all races, we were all gunning for our 4 year colleges. Nobody, like none of us ended up at a community college. I mean, we all applied to like 5 or 6 schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have your backup schools, your deep backup schools,
Mm-hmm.
right? Believe it or not, for a lot of us, USC was our deep backup school.
Really?
The reason why is because it's easier to get into the private, expensive ones because all you got to do is pay.
Right.
I mean, because all of our grades are going to be good enough to get into. I mean, but SC has a lower rate of people going to it because it's expensive, right?
Mm.
Most of us wanted to go to most of us wanted to go to a UC. That's where most of us wanted to go.
Right.
So most of us were trying to get into LA or Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big. So I applied to what? I applied to I didn't apply to anything local. I wanted to move far away. I wanted to experience colleges like on my own. So I
Yeah.
applied to Berkeley. I applied to what else I applied to? Santa Cruz.
Uh-huh.
I applied to USC as my backup school. Okay. I applied to George Washington University, believe it or not, because I just wanted to check out the DC area.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good school, so I applied to George Washington, and my backup was actually I think my backup was SC, and
Really?
so I ended up getting into Santa Cruz,
Mm.
and I also applied Santa Barbara. I think I got into Santa Barbara, I got into Riverside, I got into 2 others, but I went to Santa Cruz because it's the most awesome campus of the bunch.
I think both times I did JC, I didn't have no backups. And
Well,
like,
you didn't need a backup if you had. See, that's the funny part. That's the funny part. For
yeah.
us, community colleges were not even on the list. They see people nowadays would consider a community college a back. No, not really. I mean, like the way I recommend things, you're better off starting there because thing is that when I went to college, I don't think I was ready for the experience of that. I mean, I needed time to screw around. I
Right.
mean, and that's what I did in college. That's the problem. That's what I did in college. My first 2 years of the 4 year, I screwed around the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second year, me and my friend had to make up this crazy ass story to tell the ombudsman to get them not to kick us out of college.
Mm.
Right. We told them that we had been in a Mexican prison for 4 months. That's the reason why we weren't attending class. And remember,
Ah,
back then, affirmative action was a very, very much a thing.
yeah.
Right. And we walked in, and I was claiming to be Native American.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and my friend was Mexican, right? Well, he's
Right.
American, but his last name's Camacho,
Right.
right? So we walked in there with this crazy ass cockamamie story about being in a Mexican prison.
Mm.
and they bought it. They let us stay. We were gonna get the boot, man. We had really just said we didn't show up to squat. We didn't show up to anything.
Damn.
Right. I even forgot what my classes were.
Dang.
I'm like, I didn't even know what my classes were anymore. I'm like, what am I in? Right.
Yeah, I can kind of get that. I see
Because
that.
dude, Santa Cruz has so much to do. I mean, like, back then I was an avid shooter. I was an avid golfer, and there were great golf courses around Santa Cruz. There was a shooting range right by where I lived. So I was spending and I was doing the whole mountain thing. Dude, Santa Cruz is just too much fun.
Yeah, it was like that in Atlanta. Like when I went to
Parties.
Clark, Atlanta, it was like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't until I got more mature that I could even, I guess if it wasn't for the routine of high school, if I wasn't forced to be there, I wouldn't have been there. Right. So you got to go to high school, right? It's like
Definitely.
essentially it's a crime not to, right? Until
Right.
you're a certain age, you got to go to school. That's why those truant officers exist. They're looking for
Right.
kids, or you got to be there, right? And if you're not, who pays the price? Your parents do.
Yep.
Because it's like, wait, like you're letting your kid like run amok. What's going on here? What kind of parent are you?
hmm
And they find them, I guess. I don't know. I never got.
Yeah. Well, we were just telling my sister that about my nephew while she lived in Texas.
Yep, they find
Because she
them.
living in Texas now, and it's like truant officer. I had a truant officer come at me while I was in Texas, and it was way more intense than when it was out here.
Really?
Heck yeah. Because I like, I mean, it's stupid when I think about it now, but it was just the principle for me. If I tell you I'm going for a funeral, I don't want to hear no more. I don't hear no more questions, and they wanted to question me. So
Wow.
this went on for like back and forth for like a couple weeks, where they wanted to like, they wanted me. They used to have this thing called like, they called it pass, where it was like it was in school detention. So instead of being in like class, you'll be in pass. For
Oh,
detention.
okay. I
You
get you. I
go in
get you. Okay.
pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was just stupid. Now when I think about it, all I had to do was just show them my obituary, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
I just like I was just standing on the principle, like, no, I'm not showing you nothing. If I tell you this is what I did, that's
This is
it.
what I did. Well, yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's why community college is so great, because it's even if you're not ready for it, right? It's a no
hmm
harm, no foul situation. You're not going to
Yeah.
spend a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
In California, the state will pay for it.
You can fail as many times you
Yeah.
want.
I mean, like,
You can even try stuff out before you get to the real university.
yeah, like, I mean, in my case, I didn't do well there just because I didn't want to be in a class. I mean, I wanted to do anything else but that, right? I wanted to
Right.
party. I wanted to, you know, but which of course, UC is not, I mean, UC is not like going to SC, so it's not that expensive,
Mm.
but it's not cheap either, right? And
No.
of course, I'm living in a dorm. I mean, I'm living in a dorm, so I had to pay
Wait,
for the
dorm
dorm, I
fees.
had to pay for the food, I had to pay for the tuition, I mean, all sorts of things, right? And that's just a
hmm
lot of money wasted
Right.
on an experience where dude, literally, I was like, it's like I went to summer camp. Every day was just doing whatever I wanted to do, right? Which I shouldn't have done,
Right.
honestly. But it wasn't until years later that I got serious about doing stuff. And when I went back, dude, I was the best student ever. I mean, like, a top ranking in everything. I mean, like, it was crazy how and people were saying, oh, but you're so smart. How'd you do so bad in college? I just didn't go, right? It wasn't like in high school, I could just you read the materials, you just take the tests, and I'll pass. I mean, like, it was so easy. No homework. I didn't do the homework because I didn't have to. My grades were good enough without it that I still graduate with decent grades, right? But college, since I'm not there,
Mhm.
I can't memorize anything, right?
Oh yeah. You're not in the class.
Yeah, if I'm sitting in the class and the teacher's droning on and on and on, I could fall asleep. I'm still hearing them, and because of that, I mean, essentially, I
You're
have
still getting the concept down.
yeah, I mean, I have essentially what is a photographic memory, right?
hmm
I can, if I hear it once, boom, it's done. But if I'm not even in the room, that doesn't help.
No.
See, but it wasn't so until I was much older, went back and classes were so simple because I went. Right? So simple because I went. And right now, online learning is the easiest thing in the world.
True.
Right? I'm in a master's program and it's easy. Piece of cake. Getting A's in a master's program, not a big deal. Because now I know how school's supposed to be and I'm doing the work. But
Right.
anyway, I mean, but community college is great though, because it gives, if I had gone to a community college in the beginning, I wouldn't have wasted, I'll tell you, the result would have been the same. I still would have fucked off and done what I did.
But at
But
least you probably would have fucked off. Like you would have fucked off with a job.
yeah,
You would have fucked off. Like you know what I'm saying. Like you would have fucked off differently, and you would have spent like a tenth.
well, the thing is that when I did finally fuck up, I mean, like when I left it, I left because real estate was booming and I went into that business and I did. It was a good time for me,
Yeah.
right? I would have done the same thing, except I wouldn't have had all that stupid
Yeah.
student debt.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have the same experience without the debt. Okay, which is perfect, right?
Mhm.
And that's why community college is great. If I was ready for it at the time, then I would have gone. I would have done my 2 years there and transferred to wherever I wanted to go. Yeah, I got into Santa Cruz, but that wasn't where I wanted to go. I want to go to Berkeley.
Oh, you
Right.
would have got into Berkeley.
If I did my
Like
2 years,
it was some people who got into Berkeley under me.
yeah. If I did my 2 years in community college, I mean, gotten the grades I needed to do, I would have transferred right to Berkeley. Not a big deal. I saved a
Yeah.
whole bunch of money, and I'd have graduated with a Berkeley degree. Right?
I think like also it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it was like it felt like in community college, like it was I felt like it was easier to display your skills compared to like displaying your skills at a high school. You know what I'm saying? Unless like you play like a sport or something like that, or was like outstanding in a certain field. Like, I'm the first time I went, I got into Clark Atlanta, which I felt like it was pretty easy. Like I didn't have outstanding grades in junior college to get into Clark Atlanta. Um, I had probably like 3.0, but getting into Pepperdine was easy because my student activities. I just thought
Okay.
about this the other day. The reason why I got into Pepperdine is because I was the president of the student organization, and we did a college fair where like I was over all the events. So I was putting together the college fairs. So I put together the college fair, and this is like the second semester of me being the president. So like I already accomplished a lot. I already knew everybody. I was already the man on campus. So like I come down and
Wait, have we met yet? At that time, we had, right? You and
we
I.
probably had we probably had met during this time.
Yeah, because Quentin, I
So
met him because um, the dean of student services at his school. I was providing a product to the school. I was providing a mobile application,
yeah,
right? And the dean of student services wanted me to meet with the student or you were the it was ASO.
ASO,
It
yeah,
was the ASO president. He wanted me the ASO president so that I could pitch providing an app to the ASO.
yeah.
That's
Armand,
how we met.
you came the wrong semester. If you would have came the first semester, we would have had the app.
Oh,
Because the only thing was I like did he ever tell you how I really got like we knew each other, but I got close with him because I had an incident on campus.
okay.
Yeah, I
I'm
got
not sure.
arrested.
I'm not sure. I was told the story. Maybe.
Yeah, I got arrested on campus.
Wait. So wait. So why if I come a semester earlier, it would have.
Because Duke, he had showed me the apps. He had like 3 apps from you.
Yeah. Yeah. He got a
He
bunch
was
from
like,
me.
"Yeah, I got this guy who does these apps." I was like, "Word, I want to meet him," because I was like, "We need an app." I was already forward thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, "If I have a student services app, I would have pushed downloads like crazy. That would have been the most download. That would have probably been the most downloaded app you had if I would have got a hold of it. Because like he introduced Eric to me before he introduced me to you.
Oh, that's right. So you guys
Yeah,
had gone with the what was it called again?
it was called Perk EDU.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
like 500 downloads on the first day. Like it was, and like man, I went and got a sponsorship from McDonald's having that app. Like it was like it when I think back on it, it was like I don't know why I had the mentality that I had because it was really stupid. Like it was like, of course, money was a goal at one point in time,
Hmm.
but then when money didn't become the goal, and I forgot what the fuck the goal was. Really think until when I think about it, after money wasn't the goal, I forgot what the goal was. But we just kept doing stuff like the whole me getting in the Pepperdine thing. The lady saw like somebody was like, yeah, and that's our ASO president Raymond. And I'm telling you, it like the whole crowd went wild. Everybody was like, hey. She saw that. And that's why I was like, because I had just spoke to her and I told her, and like it's like just imagine somebody saying that to you as soon as they walk away, they give you a standing ovation. That's how it happened.
Okay.
So from that point on, like she started inviting me to all Pepperdine events, and I eventually got in there.
Okay.
But that's what I was saying. Like the activities really helped me push me
Wait. So
forward.
wait. How did the wrestling play into this? You were talking about.
Oh, the arresting because I got like how I got close with Duke. So I was smoking weed on campus.
Oh, so
Didn't know I couldn't do that.
that's what they got you for, huh?
Yeah, didn't know I can do that. This was just some stupid. And it was the same day I got elected. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, me and the homie upstairs smoking. Like, yeah, man, I'm about to take over the school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, that's what our conversation was. Air it out. On our way back down, the police officer drives up and then pulls us over. And I still, it's still funny to me because like I'm the president now, so I feel like I got power like that. My homie like, don't say nothing. I'm like, you know, I can probably talk us out of this. No, and I'm like, all right, don't say nothing. Even the police officer was like, for real, you gonna just act like you're not smoking weed? And I was like, nope, I wasn't smoking weed. I told him what I was. I was like, man, I'm a student body president here. I'm probably gonna do more things for the school than you'll ever see in your life here. I guess he wasn't really, but he had let us go, right? He saw me doing a student event like the next week and saw me and I seen him. And I was like, this nigga gonna go, he gonna report me. All right, no, because a week had passed by, that nothing had happened. He reported me, and that's when I got put on probation. And they was like, look, we're not gonna strip you of your title, but you're gonna have to meet with the dean of student services each and every week, a part of your probation.
Oh God.
And the dean of student services was Duke. And
Yep.
so I was meeting with him, and that's when he showed me the apps. He like pretty much he got my first start of how to really operate in the school, and then it went from him. I started meeting with the vice presidents. Eventually, like when I got to meeting the president, and I started meeting the president each and every week, that's when I started really doing stuff. Like I remember me and the president got so cool. Like the students, like we had an issue with the bus. And like the
I remember
students
that.
kept coming to me as like the student body president, like, man, we keep having to like walk a mile to our classes and be late to our classes because the bus won't come into the school. And they got a bus stop in the school. And I was like, dang, we do got a bus stop in school. And I used before I drove, I used to ride the bus. And like I never understood why we had to walk up there. Somebody
Keep
explained
talking.
it
I'm
to
opening the window. Keep talking.
yeah. Somebody explained it to me. So I went to the city council meeting. I go to the city council meeting and I speak in front of the city council and I told them, hey, I'm the student body president. I used to have to ride the bus and I never understood why we have to walk a mile. What can we do to where the bus can come into the school? After after that meeting, probably like a day or two afterwards, the president of the school comes into my office. I had an office. He was like, "You really want the bus to come inside the school?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You heard about this meeting?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "That's what you want?" I was like, "Yeah." Probably like 2, 3 weeks later, that's when the bus started coming in
Wait. So why didn't they want the bus to come into the school?
because there was a particular neighbor that used to complain about the bus being like a certain like it was. He said it was too loud.
Oh.
And if you go like back then at West LA, they used to have these like soundproof like walls. So it's like a big old gate. Like just imagine, you know, when you go to like a golf course, they got them big tall gates. Like they used to
Yeah.
have this like cover over the gates. I guess for the sound wouldn't get out. And it was one particular neighbor that was complaining about it. and it was only one neighbor. That's what we found out. It was only one neighbor that was complaining about. Nobody else was complaining about.
He's the squeaky wheel.
He was the squeaky wheel, and he got it to where the bus was not coming in. Where where West LA was, like this was that. I think that was Jefferson. The bus would drop us off on Jefferson, and we'll have to walk all the way up to like where the street to the entrance of the school was. Walk up a big old hill, then go like we'll have to walk like at least like 2-3 miles before you get to your class after getting off the bus.
Shit.
Yeah, but it was like, and those are the type of things I put on my resume. You know, like it was like I had too many activities that I did. Like if I sat and told you everything I did at that school, it would be like, why the fuck was you doing? Like when did you go to class?
Right.
You know, even like I did go to class. Like when my I was in the film program, and that became funny because when the teachers found out I was the president of the school, they're like all the teachers calling me Mr. President there. Oh, Mr. President. And it wasn't until like they start seeing me do presidential stuff, it was like, oh, this dude kind of serious. Then I did a speech. I did a speech at the graduation. So it was like, you know, I like it was always like a situation where like people would laugh, but then they'll see me do something presidential. Like I mean, I never got nobody fired, but I went to war with teachers. I did too much stuff during that freaking time.
Man. So community college was good for you. Well,
Like the first time in community college, I didn't think about none of that stuff. The second time, I was just like, you know what? Because it was really because when I went to my first community college, it was called Brookhaven. And then when I went to Clark, I was kind of antisocial. Like, you know, you don't got no, I'm not living on campus. I don't really know nobody. I'm just getting in here and getting out. Going back and having to go back and start over, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the real college experience. I'm gonna I learned everybody's name. Like that was a big thing for me. I went to a party with one of my friends, and for some reason he just decided to learn everybody's name at the party. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start doing that in real life. And I knew everybody's name on the campus. Like if you had met me and you told me your name, I always remembered it. And that was from staff to students to faculty members, like anything. Like it didn't matter. You could have been a trash man. You told me who your name was, I knew your name.
It's funny. It's funny. I'm not remembering too much back. Did I do a presentation for you guys?
I think you did.
I think so.
I know, like that's what I'm saying. You came kind of at the tail end because, like, you know, some of my staff, like, remember I had a staff, like it was like 20 of them. They didn't want per key to you. A lot of them wanted an ASO app, and they was like, "Yo, per key to you should be a part of the ASO app." I'm like, "Look, I hear what you're saying, but this guy just bought me a phone. We getting paper with this guy. We about to put an app on this campus." That's why, like, if you would have came before Eric, it would have been inside the ASO app, and it wouldn't have been just his app. Because I mean, like you was right. Like it was like it's not gonna go far. Like you got students working for you.
Yeah, you know I remember talking about that. Yeah,
he was like, you got students working for you. Like I think I was probably the biggest. Like, well, there were other people who were selling more than me, but I did the biggest sales. Like I was the whale killer because I got McDonald's. And McDonald's that was like turned into 14 locations.
So Quinn, what was your college experience like?
Yeah, I did the whole opposite of you because I had to pay for mine. I went straight to community college.
Oh, so
I did like
did
2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, because I realized that if I was paying for it, I wasn't paying like thousands of dollars each semester. And I realized that at that time, I think it was like 5 to 10 for UC and like 2 to 5 or less for CSULA or CSUs. So I went to junior college for like 2.5 years. I bumped around and did some different stuff, checked out some different things. My major was engineering, but I checked out art. I like art more than I like engineering. But it was all drawing because I like to draw. So I checked out a bunch of art classes. I checked out a bunch of engineering classes. I bought a bunch of stuff that I would have had to buy expensively at a UC or CSU, because a lot of that equipment is like 3 times the price. Protractors, scales, all kinds of different stuff that you got to buy, templates and all kinds of things. So I went there, and then I transferred to Fullerton, Cal State Fullerton.
So you did a smart thing. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
smart.
he did.
Because I had to pay for it. Because I knew I was going to have 4 years plus of debt. And I didn't want that.
Guys, this is like the episode of interruption. I gotta use the bathroom bad. Oh my god! I'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you that. Him and I met because of me selling apps to colleges.
I heard that, but I didn't know how extensive it was, and I still don't know who the first guy was. So the first guy wasn't good.
Oh, the first guy. Well, no, not that it wasn't good. It was. It wasn't a college. So what it was is essentially it was some form of loyalty program. That it was pitched to. The problem was that when you sell something like that, your sales staff should be sales staff. You can't rely on students to sell for you, because they're supposed to be in school, right? And well, not only are they supposed to be in school, but they're not going to take it as seriously as regular salespeople would, right? So you've got different responsibilities pulling you in different directions. You've got somebody who's young and in college and who hasn't reached that level of responsibility yet, and so it eventually didn't. I mean, I didn't think it was a good idea looking at it, and I knew the guy. I knew him because he doesn't sell college apps. He sells this thing called, well, it became like a college app, but it really was it was a for-profit product, right? And that's where, see, mine was for the school, right? It was an ASO application, so the school was buying it, right? All the schools I sold to, the school was one paying for it, right? And it was for the school. It was for the ASOs. I had other apps for other campuses for different purposes. I did apps for the disabilities. I had apps for folks on disabilities. I had other apps for mental health. Whatever was the issue that had the hot button issue that had funding at that moment, that's what the colleges were buying from me, right? I built whatever they wanted, right? And but his app allowed the people selling it to earn from it, right? That's why they went for that. Go, oh, we can earn from this app, right? At the same time, though, they weren't hitting. You know, Raymond did some good numbers, but overall their numbers weren't enough to sustain what that app needed, right? So that app eventually burned out.
You say burnt out. What does that exactly mean?
They did maintain sales numbers. It wasn't financially feasible to continue doing it.
So the app stops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So so as Raymond was saying, like, you know, a lot of them wanted an ASO app, right? An ASO app would allow, the ASO apps were designed to promote the Associated Student Organization. It was designed to promote their events.
Right.
This other app was designed to give discounts at restaurants around you and businesses around you. See, so it was like a loyalty app is what it was. Mm-hmm. Except because the school wasn't the one paying for me, like, you know, if I had done a loyalty app, the school would have paid the flat fee every year for it, and we'd go out there and we'd have students recruit businesses into it. But it wouldn't be a profit scenario. Maybe it would be a thing where businesses would join it for free, right? Businesses in this case were paying. So you know, like, to give you an idea, in Rio Hondo, which is the community college in Whittier, there's a 4-year college there too. It's called Whittier College. It's a small liberal arts school. Their mascot was they're called the Poets. Okay, and they had a loyalty program. It's the Poet card, and so in Uptown Whittier, a lot of these businesses were members of it. They didn't pay to be in it. They just signed up and offered a discount to students. So if you were a student, you had the loyalty card because you were a student, you can go there and get a discount. That's what it was for. The shops got increased business.
Right.
Right. The college got a perk it could offer to its students, and everyone was no money was changing hands. So in other words, it wasn't something where the college got money when people spent there.
Right.
They just provided the students as a perk. The stores weren't paying to be in it. They were just providing, they were providing that discount as a perk. And that's how it should have been. That's how a loyalty app for a college works. Okay, it's not a money-making thing. Okay, it's there to, make the college more part of the community, right? And to give students a little bit of a perk, increase traffic to businesses. That's what it's meant for, right? Perky to You did that, except they charged for it. Right, and what they did is they made I forget exactly how the thing worked, but they made I guess they gave points to people. It was complicated. It was a bit too it was too complicated for people to run part time. Something like that needed the full time administrators, like a sales force. That's what it needed to be successful. And so, but give a bunch of community college students the ability to earn some money. And then, but then they didn't continue to go out there and sell. They sold for a little bit, then they dropped off.
Oh, yeah. Because it becomes work. I got work to do in school.
Yeah. So that's why it was like that. Yeah, but that's how we had met. So an ASO app would have been there to promote the Associated Student Organization. It would promote all the events, it would promote club events. It would build more morale on campus. That's what it was supposed to. That's what they're for. That's when ASO app would have done, and the college would have been paying for that. Right. I've done a few of those. And then of course other organization apps, like all the clubs would want one too. So all the club, they have budgets for it. All the clubs would go and would order. So the Creative Writing Club would have its own app if they wanted. It has a bit of a budget. And that's a previous lifetime for me. So now we're here just rambling on a podcast.
Oh man, I feel like that toilet did not deserve that.
Was it a hate crime, man? Was it a hate
crime?
Man,
I feel like it was a hate crime.
Is that a
phone?
Nobody
go in there about 35, 45 minutes.
What is that, Raymond? Is that a phone case?
Oh, yeah.
What is it? Show me that. Let me see this thing. This looks like a child's phone.
It is a child's phone case. They got mad at me about this on the other day.
What the heck? It doesn't even look like a phone anymore.
That's some cartoon.
I don't think it's a cartoon, but...
Does it do anything else besides hold your phone?
Huh?
Does it do something else besides hold your phone?
No, it just holds my phone.
Okay, there you go. Anyway, so we gotten a bit off track. So we're telling Quentin that he's like a man in his 20s, except now he's got money.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a little bit more wisdom behind him. So we're trying to encourage him to go out there and have some fun with his life, right? When people say that life's too short, it's funny when my advice to a younger person would be to get more serious earlier, right? And I've gone back and forth on this. My opinion's changed. I've flip-flopped on this, right? I was watching something earlier where it was a podcast interview with some billionaire, right? Mm-hmm. And what did the billionaire asked the podcast host? Something like what's like a life philosophy, go out there, enjoy life while you're young. Time is short, type of thing. So they want to experience life, right? They want to do things. But the billionaire felt opposite.
What do you feel?
It's you gotta delay gratification until you truly deserve to have some fun, right? Because having some fun early just sets you up for a lot more grinding later on. That was the billionaire's point of view. It's True. Like you could. Okay, like this. Okay, so let's take it away from being super young to being like a person in their working years, right? 20s, 30s, right? You could work and then reward yourself with extravagant vacations and go into debt for those things. Because some people do. People will go into debt for vacation. They'll go on a vacation, charge it up on a card, and then spend the next couple months, maybe even years, paying off that vacation. Okay, because they didn't have that. They didn't have that in cash to just dump down and like walk away from it debt free. It's like it's almost like going to college. They just spent 15 grand going to something, and now they're paying for it for another 2 years. Right. Yeah. Or you could just spend more time grinding at something else. I mean, another example, right? I just saw a post about some young social media influencer, and they made it seem different it was kind of clickbaity, right? Mm-hmm. It's like 18-year-old owes $500,000. 18-year-old influencer $500,000 in debt. Okay, so when you hear something like that, what do you think? Right? Oh, this is some person who just bought like a luxury car and a bunch of bags to show off on social media. That's what you think, right?
Right.
But then when I read the article about it, okay, she's an 18-year-old girl. Okay. I'm expecting to read about buying like, I don't know, like an Aston Martin or something. And the car she bought was like a Honda CRV. Is it CRV?
What is she going to debt with?
What's that?
So what is she going to debt with?
No, it's a $25,000 car that she went to debt $23,000 with. I'm not looking at that's the first thing they said. I'm like, that doesn't show me some crazy spending pattern. That's a pretty much normal car, right?
Right.
And it sounds used at $25,000. Like, so I mean, what? Then I read the rest of it. The rest of the debt is her mortgage on a house. Okay, so she bought a house at 500 and something, 5+, and she has a mortgage for 4 something on it, right? Mm. And it's like, that's not real. I mean, like,
that's not debt.
That's not debt. I mean, well, it's debt, but that's not ridiculous debt.
No.
She did what somebody in their 30s would do.
Right.
Okay. At the same time, though, at that age, if you had the money to put down for that house, she'd have been better off buying some investment property and earning from it. Right. So now she's 18 years old, and she's debt servicing a large mortgage. Mm-hmm. Right. So what work she puts in, what money she makes from her social media, and she has a job, what money she's making from whatever sources it's coming from are going to paying a house. Right. Which a regular person would say that's good because she's building equity. Right. But picture this, rather than doing that, she could have lived frugally, rented a small apartment, taken the money that she put down on a house and purchased two low-cost rental properties in a red state, right? Mm. And she could have cash flowed somewhere in the area of $600 per month on each property, $500 to $600, right? So rather than, because you're collecting, then that's her net income for the month, okay, from that property. Let's say it's $1,000 a month from those 2 properties, right? So that's money she could reinvest. But think about it. If she's putting that money into a mortgage on this bigger house that she's living in, right? Is it gaining equity that fast? Is it gaining $1,000 of equity every month? No, it's not. Okay. The cash flow on these 2 rentals would have outpaced her equity gain in the property she bought, right? Plus, she'd have more tax breaks from it. Because the only tax break she's getting from the house she bought is the mortgage interest. That's all she gets from it.
Right.
She can use towards her taxes. Okay. So if she had done that and rented in some rinky-dink place, and then just keep reinvesting her money into performing assets, by the time she was in her late 20s, right, which is 10 years, she'd have amassed quite a few. She'd probably be cash flowing $12,000, $15,000 a month. And then she could, if she wanted to buy something, but I would still recommend that person buys a more upscale, like duplex, or maybe an upscale 4-unit, rent out, whatever it takes so that your renters pay that mortgage too. Right. So now she's living, even if it breaks even, I mean, she's living for free. She's living for free. So her renters are paying her mortgage. the things that she's amassed, that's what I'm saying. You know, buying the house for herself was a reward, right? Buying that nice house was a reward. The car's not a big deal, but buying that nice house was a reward, really. More, it's not an investment. Okay, it's more. She probably thought of it as that, but really, it's a reward. Okay, she could have amassed a bunch of rentals, been cash flowing big, got herself a duplex or a quad, live for free for a bit, and then when the money reaches a point where, yeah, I'll just buy something nice now because I can afford to throw it away. That's how I look at things now. And I thought differently before. I felt this way when I was in my 30s. Actually, no, when I was in my 30s, I was drunk somewhere because I owned a damn bar. I felt that way when I was in my 40s, right? And then for a period of time, I felt like, oh, life is short, you should enjoy it. But the thing is this, statistically, what is the average lifespan of American male?
80 something.
It was 76 before. I think it's higher now, right? So if you really think about it, you know, this whole thing is a bet, right? You're betting on, are you going to live long or die young, or what? You know, the average age is 70. Like, you know, most people live to 76. Most men live to 76. So if you're out there rewarding yourself in your 30s, you're setting yourself up for a mediocre life for another 40 plus years, right? Giving up a couple years in the beginning to lay a really solid foundation means a lot of years of enjoyment, right? So you can delay the gratification for a few years while you build something, right? And then enjoy in the long run. Okay. But everyone's thinking, oh, I could die. Yeah, you can die tomorrow, right? But statistically, you'll probably live to 76. If you die tomorrow, you're like the outlier. You're an anomaly. Okay, yeah, it's true. Random stuff happens. But if you've ever been to a casino, right? Like, for example, let's say you know how to count cards, right? And counting cards, especially if it's a single deck, it's all about percentages. Because what you're really counting is, and I'm thinking, I was in Vegas the past week. That's why I'm thinking like this. What you're really counting is how many cards worth 10 are coming up. Okay? Which lets you know how many cards worth 10 are still left. And, okay, Raymond, so you've heard of counting cards before, right? The concept of counting cards. So what it really is you're not memorizing every card that's gone by. You're only keeping track of the cards that are worth 10 points are. Which are 10s, jacks, queens, and kings.
Right.
There's 4 suits, 52 cards in total, right? And in each suit of cards, there are 4 cards worth 10.
Right.
Jack, queen, king. Okay, and there's 4 suits. So there's 16 cards worth 10. That's the only thing you're counting. Right. How many cards worth out of those 16 have gone by, and how many of those cards have gone by, and how many cards have gone by? So let's say let's say out of the past 12 cards, 5 cards worth 10 have popped up. So that means that there's 11 of them left. Okay, and there's 40 something cards left. So you have a 1 in something chance of pulling a 10 the next time that pops up. And counting cards is only done in baccarat and blackjack.
Oh, okay. You know what? It's funny you brought that up because we kind of mentioned it in the class, but like my I don't know how to explain it. It's a new favorite person that I've been binge watching lately is Mickey Mace. Have you heard of him? Mickey Mace is a professional gambler.
Yeah, we talked about him. Yeah.
Yeah. And pretty much he has been kicked out of all the casinos in Vegas because he is actually a winner. So like pretty much like I don't know, like you've seen that scene in Casino where the Chinese billionaire like won and he tried to get on the jet, but the jet malfunctioned, and the whole thing was just to get him back because if you keep him gambling, he'll eventually lose.
You put it back, yeah.
So like Mickey Mace pretty much got banned because that's what the casinos were doing to him. He said that he was winning so much to where he had like the highest betting limits. Like he has stories where he's lost $8 million and then won it back. But he said that he talks about the comp game, and he was like, you can get anything at a casino. They'll give you helicopters, jets, all the entertainment that you want, cars, everything,
Yes.
because they're betting on you coming back
They
and
want to keep you
eventually
there.
giving them
Yeah.
their money back.
Yeah, that's exactly how it
All
works.
right. But they started to track him to where he was actually winning. And he bets like just like the guy in the casino, he bets like a brain surgeon. So he knows, like, he talked about, like, he has a video where he talked about, like, I think it was the craps table. Like, the craps table, like, it was leaning to a certain side
Oh crap.
where nobody really noticed. And he was like, him and his friends noticed, to where they was like, okay, knowing that that's going to happen, the ball is going to land in a certain area each and every time, because
Oh,
it's
you're talking
this.
about roulette.
Yeah, roulette. He talked about in blackjack. Like, he said in blackjack, if you have a, like, what is it, 18? Like, it's a hard 18 or a soft 18. I can't remember exactly what he said. He was like, always hit. Don't ever fold it, or don't ever stand, pretty much, because there's a higher.
Oh no, you're talking about a soft 16.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's either, like, but he was like, don't ever stand.
Yeah.
Always go for it, because it's a higher probability
Well, no.
that
Okay.
you'll
So
still keep.
you don't hit on a soft 18. Well, technically
Mhm.
you could if you want to, but you really shouldn't. It's a soft 16 you must hit on.
Uh,
Okay.
well, no, he
Because
was saying on the 18 though.
was he saying 18? You don't. That's not normal. Because in our case, okay. So what happens? See, with a soft 16, right?
Yeah,
Even okay. So actually, technically, we work with 18 but 18 is a winner. Typically, you don't risk that usually.
he was saying you should, because if you're dealing with a dealer, because it's a good probability. And, like, the only time, like, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Before I started watching this guy, the only time I bet or I do any type of gambling is in video games. Like, like playing Red Dead Redemption, you can play blackjack. I play blackjack in Red Dead
I'm sorry.
Redemption.
It's a soft. It's a soft 17 is what you're supposed to stand.
It's
For.
soft seven. Trust me, I don't like. I know it's the higher number where it's like it can go either way.
Yeah.
Either it's an 18 or a 17. But he was saying always hit. Don't ever just stand on it, because you have a higher probability of beating the dealer if you go for it. You know what I'm saying? And, like, he broke down which numbers, like, but he also broke down which numbers you got to see to which the dealer has to have. And he said he made most of his money playing baccarat and blackjack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, baccarat is
Well,
his
yeah,
game.
because you can count those. I mean, like, that's the thing. So
He talked about it.
see, what happens is this. So let's pretend you're dealing with a single deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
52 cards, 16 or tens, right?
Yeah.
So you're counting how many tens go by.
Yeah.
Jacks and queens and kings included, right? So you know what percentage you have of hitting a 10 later.
Right.
Right. So the next card has an X percent chance of being technically a face card or a 10, right?
Right.
And you know when you're safe to hit and you're not. So if there's too many in that deck, if the chances are high that it's gonna be a 10 again, and you're sitting there with like a 16, you don't hit because you're gonna be busted.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But yeah, the whole gambling thing it's fun. It can be fun unless you and you got to bet consistently.
Yeah.
Right. You'll see guys who, and this is when you know you're looking at amateur, when their bets go high, low, high. I mean, like, it's about consistent betting.
Yeah. I think with him is very interesting, because he is trying to tell you not to gamble. He tells you the gambling is the worst thing that you can ever do. Don't gamble. If I had a choice, you shouldn't gamble.
Yeah, because
But he's giving you all
there's
these.
a reason casinos are profitable.
Yeah, but he's giving you all these secrets and intel to where it's like, man, I want to go pick up some blackjack right now. Let's do it, you know? Because, I mean, I get it. Like, it's just the same thing with me with slot machines. Like, I got a coworker where she goes to Pachanga and she tells me how she wins, right? And watching Mickey Mace, I was like, what, you watch? and see which one has the jackpot, and then you play that one. She was like, yeah, that's how I win most of the time. I didn't even know that.
Well,
You
here's the
know?
thing. See, slot machines, especially now they're digital. Slot
Yeah,
machines are the lowest odds in the house. That's the
it's
last thing you
true.
want to play.
Yeah, but they said like the trick is you have to go to one that has the highest jackpot. That shows you that, oh, it's been played enough to where your odds are higher that you may win the jackpot. Like this is what Mickey said, and then even like my coworker was saying, like that's the only way that I win. Like she talks about she loses, like she not no professional gambler like that, but she's done enough winning. She's shown me enough of her winning to where she has to claim it on her taxes.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, here's the thing about gambling.
Hmm.
Okay, that I've learned over the years, uh, having been a person who gambles myself.
Hmm.
We always talk about what we win. We never talk about what we lose.
Yeah,
Right. And here's the thing about winning: you have to pay taxes when you win. What you lose, you can't
it's
claim
not a
as
write off.
no, it's not. So if you won $50,000 and you lost 60, you're gonna pay taxes on the 50 that you won.
What?
Yeah, that's how it works. And you can't
I never
claim.
knew that.
Yeah.
That's like losing.
So
I
when
mean,
she
you
tell
have
when
to
she
pay
tells you
like.
she has to pay taxes, yes, she does because she won. But she didn't tell you how much she had to spend to win that.
Oh no, no, no! Like, look, I can pretty much guess. Of course, I know. Like, she's not telling me everything. Like, who would tell you everything? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of the things. Like, if you know, you gotta lose with gambling.
Yeah.
It's no. But even this Mickey Mace guy, like, how much losses did you do until you started winning like that? And then even like you had to do some type of losing in order to get it to where you started winning like
Yeah,
that.
pros have
And
cold streaks too. It happens. I mean,
he talked about how he lost $8 million in like I think like an hour or something stupid. Like he lost
well,
8 million quick, but he said he got it back.
I mean,
You know what I'm
they always say
saying?
that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you this: I had a friend when I was in my 20s who
Hmm.
was a professional gambler. I never considered myself a professional. Um, he was living in he would live in Vegas for months at a time. They'd split a cheap hotel room. There'd be like six of them, and they'd
Hmm.
be working in shifts. Okay, that
Mm.
was their job. They were gambling for a living, and some of them
Mm.
were sponsored. So they've got somebody bankrolling them. Okay,
Mm.
and if
Like
you're
gamble
bankrolling
for
a
me?
gambler, you expect to get some money. But it's an investment, right?
Hmm.
So they can't keep losing and keep getting bankrolled.
Yeah.
Okay, and not many guys make it doing that. Some guys can. Um,
You got to have your own money. I don't think you can bankroll like that.
yeah, but it's a tough business, and there's very few successful professional gamblers.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's a matter of you need a lot of money because you have to bet consistently,
Right.
and you got to know that there's some days where it's just not working out, some days where it is. But the hardest part about it is that the environment you're in leads you to other stuff,
Oh yeah.
which typically ruins your gambling.
I mean, but, like when you look at the guy Mickey Makes, he got tattoos all over his face, where it's just like, man, we already know what's up, man. Like, I mean, he don't. He says that he doesn't smoke or drink, but he vapes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. Like, when he said, like, the only thing where I feel like it's like something's wrong there. It's like, man, you have to have some type of conversation with these people at the casinos to where I wouldn't get banned from the casino. I mean, if I won too much and they didn't want me in there, I would have been like, look, man, make me an ambassador or something like that. Like I will bring so many people into your casino, but the whole thing is like it's like a double-edged sword. That's why I'd be like, him preaching this message of you shouldn't gamble, but telling you how to gamble doesn't make any sense.
Well, hold on a second. I'm not familiar with him. Where do you see his content?
YouTube.
Okay. See, here's the thing. Okay, and we know this. There's a lot of guys out there who sell stuff that make more money promoting selling stuff than they make selling stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could do. With my casino experience, if I wanted to, I can have a gambling podcast on YouTube where like you do it just because you keep up the activity, but you make your money on YouTube talking about it.
Right.
That's probably what he's doing. He's making money talking. I mean, getting the views, talking about gambling. Right?
Yeah.
See, being banned, you don't normally get banned for winning. That's the reality. Okay, I can tell you that. You don't get banned for winning. Okay, you get banned because of a variety of things. Like one thing that you get banned for is you're trying to count down the decks. Okay? They don't. It's not illegal. I don't know if it's illegal to count. It shouldn't be illegal to count cards.
Yeah.
But it's a practice that they frown upon.
Right. But I mean, it's one of them things like that's.
And that's
how you gonna tell me how are you gonna tell me how to do this thing in my head?
Counting doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna win.
No.
You have because it's still your choice about what to do with the information, right?
Yeah.
And it can go your way and it can't. Because if you have a 1 in 4 chance of hitting a face card, okay, the odds are you won't, right? So you ask for your cards accordingly, but you still might get that face card.
Right.
Even though the odds are you won't, you still might get it because there is a percentage chance you will, right? And when it becomes obvious that you are counting down that deck, okay, they really don't want that kind of person in there because it ruins it for the other players, right? He might be banned because of attitude. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you can get banned, right? They typically don't ban winners. Winners are good for the table. Everybody wants to see somebody winning.
Somebody wants to see somebody winning, exactly.
But when you're winning because you are doing these, you're using techniques to try to give you an upper hand on it, that's when you can get banned.
Yeah. He was talking about they gave him the private jet.
Yeah. And you'll see people working in teams. That's illegal. Okay. People working in teams count. So you get 3 guys at a table, spaced out, counting down the cards. You get one guy to the right of the dealer, okay, whose job is to sacrifice himself, right? Trying to take the card the dealer wants, right? So because the dealer has a card showing,
right?
Okay, you don't know what the card dealer's down card is the entire time. You never know, okay. And if you're all counting, there's a percentage chance that what's under that is a face card. Or a 10, right? And so you're thinking, okay, what's the percentage chance of that? And you're trying to take the cards you're trying to take whatever they want. So the dealer gets what he doesn't want. Right? So maybe like, you're looking at what he has, and if he gets a face card, he's going to beat everybody. Okay? So you're sitting there, so everyone's standing already whatever they have. Your job is to keep hitting until you bust, until you take the card he wants, right? Which sometimes doesn't pan out for you, right? Because you're hitting on it like you get a 2, a 3, a 5, and you're not busting yet. What you're really doing is you're taking all the cards he should have had.
Makes sense.
And then you bust out, and then he gets the one you want. It's like he gets the one that you want, that you did want to have. It's complicated me, but in the end, that's the reason why I don't want to gamble anymore, because you can get sucked into that. And so, Quentin, to be clear here, Raymond and I, as your bad influences today, are not trying to tell you to gamble.
Don't like, if you don't go and have no hangover experiences, I don't want you to gamble.
Well, I mean, the rest of the experiences are fine. Okay, just don't lose money.
Yeah.
I saw a T-shirt when I was there that was great. It says, "Bad choices make great stories."
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot. Somebody gave me a flyer that said that. I was like, "Damn, that's right."
It's true. It's very, very true.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm telling you, man, Quinn, you're in a spot that is enviable, right? I'm not in the same spot, but I'm in a spot where it's like the empty nest scenario, where there's nothing left to spend anything on except for me and my wife, right? That's a nice spot to be in. Like, it's like suddenly finding yourself with your spouse, except you don't have to worry about kids anymore, right? There's no saving for college. There's no there's no money set aside for braces, crap like that. Suddenly it's like being newlyweds again with a ton of money, right? Okay, and that's a great place to be in if your marriage is working out, right? But you're also in a great place to be in, because you are, instead of being in the early days of a marriage, you're in the early days of not being married, right? So now you're a single dude able to do what he wants. Okay, so and that's one of the reasons why, I mean, like, certain decisions you make, like, you always got to choose the right. If you're gonna get married, choose the right person. Because, I mean, it would suck if I was in this position now and I was married to somebody who wouldn't let me indulge in what I wanted to indulge in.
Mm.
Right?
Well,
I mean, like, luckily for me, I mean, like, yeah, smoking's a bad thing. I'll admit that. Okay. But, I mean, I'm not the multi-pack a day smoker that I used to be. Okay. Like, I was smoking just now, but I roll my own cigarettes. So I smoke maybe 3 a day. Okay. It's 3 too many, but my wife doesn't climb all over my case, trying to make me stop smoking. Okay. I smoke cigars infrequently, but I still smoke them. Okay. I don't get grief for that. If I want to spend my money on another Harley, I can. Right? I get what I want. Right? If I had married somebody who wouldn't let me do that, okay, number one, it shouldn't be a scenario where you wouldn't let somebody do that, right? But I mean, I've seen people married to people who nag them to death. It's like,
yeah,
they can't do the things they want to do. It's like, oh, I want to buy a Porsche. I can afford a Porsche, but my wife won't let me get a Porsche, right?
nah,
That sucks. Okay, that's not what I'm in. Okay, will my wife let me hang out with strippers? No, which is pretty. I think there's a good reason for that.
Boy, that sucks.
Okay, but that's one of the. Now, if you're that guy who wants to have that your whole life, you got to pick the right woman, right?
yeah,
Because if you're that dude who wants to hang out with strippers and or porn stars all the time, there are some women you can marry who are into that.
true.
Okay, yeah, so that's the lifestyle you want. You can make that choice early. You got to know the people that you're permanently hooking up with. So it's like, look for those warning signs, right? Warning sign 1, you met her in church. Okay, that's warning sign 1. Okay, that might not turn out too well for you later on.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Unless you want to be in church all the time.
Yeah.
If you want to be in church, you do that.
I'm not advocating for a throuple or anything like that. It's just that,
What is this word you just used?
Raymond does not know what a throuple is. Quentin's
Neither
also
do I.
confused.
What is it?
A throuple? Okay, what's a couple?
2.
2 people. A throuple is a relationship of 3. Yep, that's what a throuple is. So it's a permanent relationship with 3 people. That's a throuple.
Sometimes I think about having a throuple, but like my girlfriend wouldn't allow it, and I respect that.
I mean, like, anyone who's thinking of having a throuple, it's tough enough dealing with one spouse. Okay.
That's true, and that's why I respect it.
And I'm not saying it's because of spouses are a pain in the ass. I'm just saying that they're people, and it's tough enough, making decisions in life where 2 people have to kind of agree about things, right? Imagine the same scenario where 3 people have to agree about things, right? Everyone has bad days, and it's perfectly normal to have a spouse, a significant other you have to comfort on bad days, right? Mm-hmm. But honestly, who enjoys having to comfort people on bad days? Very few people do, right? I mean, it could be something you do for them, but at the same time, you don't want it happening all the time. Having a throuple doubles the chances of somebody having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
That's not you, right? So when you're a couple, you have a bad day, your significant other has to deal with that and help you through it. They have a bad day, you have to help them through it. But there's only two of you having these bad days. Toss a third person in there, there's another person having bad days.
Right.
Right? I mean, it all sounds selfish, but come on, man. Who wants to comfort two spouses on bad days? And then, of course, Quentin, you may end up in a throuple with another dude.
Yeah, see, that's where I put my hook down.
See, and normally, the thing about thruples is that it's not always some weird-ass orgy scenario. Okay? A lot of times, like a two male, one female throuple is going to be, the dudes are not touching each other. They're like the Mormon husbands. Like, or like, like you hear the Mormon wife situation, traditionally Mormons practice polygamy.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not some Hugh Hefner household thing, right? If you're a dude with 4 wives, they're not hooking up behind your back. They're like 4 straight women who share one dude.
Yeah.
Right?
And he goes to their houses on separate days.
Or sometimes they live together. He goes to different rooms. Okay.
Right.
Same thing with thruples. A thruple could be 2 guys and a woman. The woman goes between the guys, or it could be the other way around, where it's 2 women and a guy. The guy that's what. But there are, of course, those thruples that are engaged together and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever seen the TV show Big Love?
Never have.
Big Love was like that was my first like experience with polygamy.
Wasn't that
And
Bill Paxton?
Yeah, Bill Paxton. That was a good show. I watched every episode. I remember me and my auntie used to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend when I was in my 20s who was Mormon.
Really?
Yeah. I was living in Washington State, and he was Mormon. It's funny. He was state wrestling champion. Okay, and I remember going to his house once, and he had 2 moms. Yeah, he had they're Mormons. His dad had two distinct, I guess they're blended families. It's like his 2 wives, and he had brothers and sisters from both moms.
Yeah.
But they were all together, and it worked for them. It was the weirdest
I
thing.
mean, it's just like instead of having baby mamas, you just have 2 wives and they all live in the same house.
Yeah. It was.
I mean, that's why I'm like, you can't, to me, I feel like you can't tell people how to live.
Yeah.
As long as you're not like.
If it works for them, it works for them,
If it works for them, I don't think, because is polygamy illegal?
Oh, hell yeah.
See, I don't think it should.
It's illegal. It's illegal.
Yeah, I don't think it should be illegal, because it's like, like it to me, if especially if it's like everything isn't broken. Like,
see, remember, polygamy only happens when they're officially married. I mean, like, you can have a wife and a baby mama live with you in the same household if they get along, but that's not polygamy, because you're only married to one of them.
Yeah,
the second you marry both of them, you're breaking the law.
It's polygamy. Like, I have a cousin who's like that. Like, literally, like, my cousin shows up, right? No, like, it started with Thanksgiving. My one of my cousins had made a post, and he was like, "Yeah, man, he brought all the kids over. You should have came." And I was like, "Well, he got new kids," and that's where the conversation started. So I was like, he pulls up, and I'm like, "Hey, cuzzo, I heard you got some new kids." He started laughing. He was like, "What you mean new kids?" I was like, "Man, I heard you got like some kids my son's age." He was like, "Yeah, I got a 6-year-old, I got a 5-year-old, and I got a 3-year-old now." And I'm like, "What number is this now?" He was like, "This is 13. I'm like, "Damn." Like, he just started breaking it down. He was like, "Nigga, I've been having kids since I was 15 years old." And he was like, he has like, I think 13 kids by like probably 4 or maybe 5 baby mamas. And he has a wife. His wife was with us.
And he had kids with somebody else?
Yeah.
Kids with somebody else? And the wife is cool with that?
You just don't go and ask questions about that.
I mean, like,
let it, like, I just talked to him. I'm not talking to his wife about that. You know what I'm saying? But I done kicked it with him and his wife before. Like his wife is cool. Like I remember one time he had a house and he had Thanksgiving over his house and we all came over. And they had a particular family photo where it was him, her, and like I think like 5 or 6 of the kids. But you know he has like 4 other ones. You know? So I mean, but in that scenario, if they like at one point in time they were cool with it. He did have like 2 baby mamas and they like the baby mamas know each other. They grew up with each other.
Does he have any baby mamas who are sisters?
No. But they did grow up with each other.
Okay.
They were raised by his mom. It was just a weird scenario, real hood ghetto shit where it was like one of the girls' moms like was strung out and ended up living with his mom, got pregnant, and then another one of the girls ended up living with him, like got pregnant, and they was all living in a house. But eventually it kind of fractured. But
That's
now he's at. I remember it used to always be a joke because it was like I remember when my sister was born. That's when he had probably like his 3rd kid.
Ooh.
And then now it's like, fast forward, my sister like 25.
Wait, how old's
Now
your
we on
cousin?
kid. Huh?
How old's your cousin?
He's in his like 40s. Probably like
Wow.
45, 40.
13
Yeah,
kids.
45. Huh?
Now he's in all their lives, I guess.
Yes.
He is. Provides support to all 13.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't know. Like, look, I
as
ain't gonna
much
get
as he
into all
can,
the business.
probably, but 13
As
kids is
much
a
as he
lot.
can, I'm gonna say it like that.
13 kids is a lot.
Like, they all went to school. At one point in time, they all had good grades. Like,
Wait, do the kids all? They're okay. Do they all know each other? Hang out with each other?
yeah,
Wow.
They all live in the same area.
they all live in the same area. They all from there. Yeah, all the kids know each other. And then,
Wow.
like, we have certain events where they all show up. Like, we're supposed to go. Like, I just told my family, like, I might not go because we were supposed to go to Lake Tahoe. And I think all of them are, like, maybe not the new kids. Yeah, I can't call them like that. Maybe not the new kids, but the OG kids, they all showing up for the when we go to Tahoe.
Wow.
And they even me like
Is there any jealousy between those kids that you've seen?
that not that I've seen, no.
The kids go along with each other.
Yeah, the kids get along with each other. And like honestly, and you would kind of consider me like a distant cousin. I've had enough experiences with him to grow my relationship with him.
Wow.
Like I remember one time, like one of his daughters, like when I had my restaurant over on Slauson, I remember she had a flat tire, and it was so random. I mean, I knew where she was going. She was going to one of my other cousins' house because they lived in the area. I have to look, and she had a flat tire. And I was like, girl, what's going on? She was like, Cuzzo. I was like, oh, here, I got you. Boom, pushed her in there. And, from that, bond. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good. Like, I remember her dad was like, see, it's good to have cousins like that. Yeah, it was like, yeah.
Let's make more cousins.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so wait. So the kids all get. Is he in the mother's lives?
One of them is married to him.
Yeah, one's married to him, but is he maintaining like?
I don't know about these new kids. Now, I ain't met the
How
new
about the old
kids.
kids? I mean, like, is he maintaining relationships with the other women?
The OG baby mama, I still remember because she used to come around when we was kids. So I remember her, but I don't see her.
Okay, so the
Uh,
kids come to the parties, but the mothers don't.
only the one that he's
Only
married
the
to.
wife comes. Okay.
Only the wife comes. The baby mamas, I've only seen. I haven't seen the original baby mama in a minute. I want to say she came to the wedding though.
Hmm.
I want to say she came to the wedding, but I may be wrong. But I'm
Wait, what
pretty
was the
sure she
wedding?
came
Her
to the wedding.
kid?
No, I'm talking about his wedding.
Really?
Yeah, he got married. Like he got a
Oh
wife.
my God.
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
say she came to the wedding. The original, I call it the original baby mom. I'm calling it the original baby mom. I did see them doing it's the wedding. I remember the wedding, and maybe another baby mama was there, but I don't know all of his baby mamas like that. I only know two. But I remember during the funeral, like his mom had passed away. This was a while ago. I remember a couple. I think that's when he had like three or probably four baby mamas, and they all showed up for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the original. So I guess we can now we can coin a phrase. It's the OB mama.
OB.
Original baby mama.
Original baby mama.
OGB.
Yeah.
OGDM. OG. Like, yeah.
The OB.
OGBM.
I'm trying to find a way to call it the Obama, but
No bueno.
Nah, I don't think you call it Obama.
it's
But
Obama.
yeah, the OG baby mama, yeah, I remember the OG BM because she like we was kids, like she used to be around. Like when he said like he just said that he was like, nigga, I was having kids when I was 15. We was young. And I was like, damn, nigga, you was young because you're not that much older than me. I just never thought about it like that, you know? But we like that was always like just an inside joke. Like how many like it was funny because I brought it up like this was on Saturday when we had the conversation, right? We went out the next day. But like he didn't go out, but like his sister and my cousin who's like they like sisters too. And I was like, yeah, you know, I asked him, I told him, I was like, yeah, I asked him, I was like, yo, you got some new kids? And of course they start laughing. They was like, yeah, that's kid 18. I was like, no, he said it was kid 13. They was like, he lying. Like, I was like, no, he not. And they was like, and they had to start counting it off. And they was like, okay, well, it is 13.
Wow.
They thought he was at 21.
Could you imagine So Quentin, how many kids you got? You got two, right? Or is it
4?
4? You have 4. Okay, you have 4. Okay. How's the oldest?
35.
Oh crap. And youngest is
17.
That's that. I got seen her. Okay. So you have 4. Raymond's got 1.
Got 1.
Yeah, I got I got 1. Right. Raymond's 1 is still of kid age.
Yeah.
Mine's adult and working. He's on his own. Right. You're about to empty nest because yours is still a couple years left, but still you're about to be empty nest. You kind of are empty nesting because you're divorced and of course any minors are splitting time right between you guys. So there's a period in the week where you are empty nesting, right?
Does that make you feel some type of way?
Me?
Yeah.
Lonely.
Really?
I'm so used to having so many people around, dude. Now it's just by myself. I can throw artwork anywhere and do anything anywhere, and I'm so
thing.
used to that.
So you're saying that when you're alone, you can do anything you want to, but do you actually want to have more people around?
No, I don't actually. I've gotten so used to being alone, dude. Now
so it's not
I
really
think now I can
lonely
do
so
stuff.
much. It's more of you just got to flex your freedom.
I get it. I'm starting to get there. It's been a few years. This is I call it my 4th year, my graduation year. I had a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, and my senior year. I've graduated. Now it's time to do something more.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's time to get some stuff going for you.
Oh yeah.
But actually, no, bad influence aside, you have an opportunity right now to. And I was watching somebody else the other day, and they're saying and this sounds. I mean, I don't know if it's good or bad, right? But what do you guys consider to be good income? Like an income, okay. So this guy was saying, if you're making like 80 grand a year, okay, if you're making $80,000 a year, the only thing you should be investing right now, the only thing you should be investing in right now is yourself, right? Because I guess, well, we'll come back to that later on, but like his rationale is that, okay, considering the lifestyle that he's got, $80,000 doesn't cut it, right? So whatever money you got, you need, when he says invest in yourself, is like, learn more, get mentoring, basically invest money that allows you to grow financially. Mm-hmm. That's what he means by investing in yourself.
Right.
Okay. Learn this. If somebody's got a skill that you want to replicate, learn that skill from them. Pay to learn that skill. Mm-hmm. Take classes, whatever you got to do to gain the skills that it takes to grow yourself financially. That's so like he said, but in my case, the way I think of it, if you're making 80, right? Yeah, invest in yourself, but live a lifestyle frugal enough that you can invest in real investments too, right? Um, a lot of people out there right now on social talk about like these are the top 20 things that you can do as a side hustle to make more money without spending almost anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I look at their lists and yeah, you can shoestring all that crap, right? But you can also do those same things and invest in them to
Mm-hmm.
get more results faster. So like rather than trying to create 7 income streams where you spend almost nothing to create them,
Mm-hmm.
you can just create 2 income streams that you're investing in to grow them faster.
Yeah.
Right. And it's funny, in that list of income streams that I'm talking about, one of them is courses, digital courses. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can create digital courses with very little investment. Okay. Okay, so have you guys heard of something called Stan or Stan Store?
Yeah.
Okay. Stan Store is a way that you can create a digital course and have a platform that allows you to sell it for like 20 something bucks a month. Okay. But it's limited in what it can do. Very limited in what it can do. Um, you can create something with a lot more flexibility and a whole lot more features if you invest real money in it. Right? When I say like real money in something like that, how much is Content Creator Machine? How much is the yearly cost on that?
800.
800 bucks? What's that divided by 12? It's not even 100 bucks a month. It's like
It was $97 a month.
This is 97 bucks a month, which is
Yeah.
way more than Stan Store, but it can do a whole lot more too, right? A product like that has email marketing built into it.
Right.
It has private groups built into it. Private forum groups, like it does what school does, built into it.
Yeah.
Right. It's it's got a much more robust funnel system built into it. It has a lot of things it can do. Okay, versus Stan Store. Right? I'm not sure if Stan Store takes a percentage or not. I don't know. I've never looked that deeply into it. Right. So, rather than like try to do a whole bunch of things on a shoestring budget, take that shoestring budget for 7 things and make them into 2 or 3 things only. So you can spend more on those things so you can get further on them.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I hear what people saying. And I think, lately I've been kind of documenting this process because, like, of course, I want to be successful during this run because I've had a lot of runs in life, but it's always never really went that far. I'm documenting this process because I feel like it has to connect. Like everything has to make sense when you really like start investing in yourself and actually start trying to make money for yourself. Like it all has to make sense. Like a lot of times people ask me like, well, why don't you push your clothes harder? Or why don't you do this? Why don't you cook more? And I always go back to where it's like it just didn't feel right. It didn't connect. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really it. To where it's like now that I've really embraced doing this thing digital, and especially like shout out to everybody who's watching, liking, and subscribing because we're starting to do some numbers
We
now.
are. Dude, did you see? I can't believe it. We had 2 long forms outperform the shorts.
Finally, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I already know like
I
next year.
know that one of them, because I've been gone for the week. I haven't really been paying attention, but I know that one of them, we got a lot of views and a ton of comments because what we talked about was a bit controversial. We got a bunch of people with feelings about incels sliding into our comments, right? That's one of them.
Right.
How about the other one?
The other one was more like, so I felt like we talked about Charleston White, right? And actually, like,
and Pee Wee Herman.
And Pee Wee Herman, like, I felt like, because I was gonna bring this up today because like he was a big topic this weekend. Like he was on fire on the internet for like the wrong things.
Oh no, what happened?
Charleston White.
Yeah. So Charleston White sold out. Like I like that's the only way I could say it. He sold out. And of course he will not say that it's selling out, but it's pretty much selling out. So Charleston White, he got big and I think I explained it in our video about him and Pee Wee Herman, about him getting big off of doing podcasts on other people's platforms.
Yeah.
So the one who blew him up is called Say Cheese TV. Say Cheese TV. This interview was titled Charleston White's last Say Cheese TV interview. And in the interview, and it's funny because remember I start commenting on stuff now, and like I got a lot of people going back and forth with me in the comments about this because as soon as he started talking, I was like, this should have been a private conversation. You shouldn't have brought this on to the internet.
Okay.
So pretty much Charleston White was like, he felt like Say Cheese portrays him in a negative light. And he says he feels like he's outgrown the platform, and he feels that he's bigger than Say Cheese. He's bigger than all these people on the internet. He's that guy now.
Oh, no.
And he knows what he's talking about when it comes to being an internet personality. So why it was so like, it was interesting, but like, I ain't gonna front. It kind of it made my stomach hurt watching it because it was like, one, I hate when people kind of like turn on people like that. You know what I'm saying? Not on the people who blew you up. Like, it's kind of like, I kind of don't have any sympathy for that. You know what I'm saying? Especially like Charleston White is like, it's hypocritical. Like a lot of the stuff that he says on that platform, even if it is like, I'm not even gonna say it's correct, but if it's coming from like a good moral place, right? He's the type of person where he doesn't sugarcoat nothing. He gives you the harsh truth and the extreme truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
To where he disrespects dead people. He talks about like he has beef with people where he's disrespected their dead kids, like fuck your kids type scenarios. He says fuck dead people all the time. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even supposed to be cursing, but this is just what he does. He disrespects a lot of people. He was supposed to go and do a backstage with NBA YoungBoy. He was like, oh yeah, them boys retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like, they barely know what they're talking about. He said that, and as soon as the interview dropped, he couldn't go backstage with NBA YoungBoy no more. Like, he's disrespected the Asian community, the white community, gays, black people, rappers, anybody you can think of, he's disrespecting them on the Say Cheese platform.
But why?
And this is what I said. He may not believe a lot of stuff he says. He's just trying to be polarizing. Like, one of the things I realized is that even with us, if we do something polarizing, we're going to get the views.
Correct. Yeah.
Regardless, I think he has gone in such a space where he knows if like the guy's name is Sean Cotton. If Sean Cotton is interviewing him and he asks him a question, if he has a polarizing viewpoint, it gets the views. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But then, Raymond, hold on. But then we talk about, okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, so I mean, one of my pieces of advice for my clients is you keep trying different things until you find out what works.
Right?
I mean, can we fault this guy? I mean, yeah, he's built something off of, I mean, even if you're successful at something, even if you experience a degree of success, you can always be more successful.
Right.
Can we deride somebody because they're taking a new path to try to find more success?
I'm not going like, cause like, okay, his new path for success, right? It's a streaming world. He feels that he feels like YouTube is going to die out and everybody should focus on streaming. This is his thought process, right?
He's aligned himself with a streamer named Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross, and like I can't give you full details into it because the little bit of content I've seen from him, not my cup of tea. This
Okay.
dude like plays gay games. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like with like people on stream and stuff.
What do you mean
Like,
plays gay games?
oh
What's a gay
God,
game?
I don't even want to go too deep into it,
Okay,
Armand.
yeah,
Like,
because
he's one
Quentin's
of
very
those,
squirming.
yeah, go and check out his content, and it's
Okay.
just like it's childish. But it's like it's something I wouldn't want my kids to do.
Okay.
Like, don't be watching that boy, and don't like if Aiden Ross came to my house as a kid and did something like that, I'd be like, don't ever bring that boy over my house ever again. Keep his gay butt over there with his people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just who he is, and I'm not gonna fault him. Like people watch him, but he even said like Charleston White said this in an interview. I mean, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather go play gay games with Aiden Ross. This is what he said in the interview. And like one of the things where I felt like it was like a divide and conquer. It's like a divide and conquer scenario. He said he went sat with these people because he's managed by UTA now.
Okay.
I feel like it was the divide and conquer scenario because he sat down. He was like, "Look, Say Cheese TV paints you in a negative light. Everything is Charleston White goes off. Charleston White this, Charleston White that. Where it's like you're not going to be able to get no sponsorships if you keep doing things like this. But it's like you're the same guy who said fuck Nipsey Hussle. You fuck all these other people. Fuck gangbangers. Fuck white people. I rape white women. Grape white women. He says stuff like this.
Dang.
And then, now it's Say Cheese TV's fault that you can't get sponsorship. You don't even have a YouTube channel. He doesn't even have his own YouTube channel because they banned him.
Yeah.
Because he says the most polarizing, offensive things on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like we've grown and the only reason why he's gained this much of following is because he plays on the socially conscious black person. He like the hip hop industry where it's like he mainly attacks is so like demonic to where if you say something right, it's almost wrong. If you're the bad guy, you're the villain. You know what I'm saying? Like if you say like, oh, like okay, like one of his arch nemesis is the rapper Lil Boosie, right? Everybody praise Boosie. Everybody loves Boosie, right? Charleston White is the villain because it's like, how do you guys like this guy? And he got off of death row. He's off of death row because he had a kid that used to be his shooter. And this kid is in jail right now because he was being paid by Lil Boosie to kill people. He has a tattoo on his body that says Boosie who's next. Because Charleston White speaks like this and brings out stuff like this, he's actually the villain. That's why, like, that's what rose him to fame. Like, it's crazy. Like, you should really be listening to Charleston White, but how's he the villain? Like, it's such a hypocritical situation, but it was like the whole interview, why he's like, I'm not going to do Say Cheese TV interviews. And it was like, I'm watching it, and it's like, I grew up with somebody like Charleston White. I remember I used to have a friend that was like that. A know-it-all type dude where, he's small, he talk a lot, you know what I'm saying? He cool, but when stuff go down, he do the most wildest stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially if when it's time to fight, like if we get into it and it's like, all right, then, well, let's fade. He'll run away. Or he'll try to find a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Charleston White is that. You know what I'm saying? Like Charleston White, like if you got into an altercation with Charleston White, he's not going to just put the gloves down and try to fight you. He's going to try to hit you with a weapon, hit you with a mace, hit you with a knife, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I always, every time I see him, it just reminds me of my homeboy that I grew up with. Where like the homeboy that I grew up with, so one day he got caught. Somebody put a good beating on him. and then he picked up a gun, and now I don't know where he is. Last time I heard, he knocked down a couple people. You know what I'm saying? But Charleston White, like every time I seen Charleston White, I always thought about that person where it's just like you're just a loudmouth. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you have great points because it's like we need to know that about Boosie. You know, we need like he's exposed a lot of things that happen in the hip hop industry and even the comedy world because he's a comedian. Talked about T.K. Kirkland, how he was running around with T.K. Kirkland. T.K. Kirkland, like he was selling out the shows, and T.K. Kirkland was only giving him like $100 a show or something like that, something stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like you is Charleston a person like Charleston White's a person that like you can't really hate that guy. But this was the first interview where I was just like, man, for real, you gonna sell out and run around with this little Jewish kid that play gay games instead of doing Say Cheese TV interviews where the guy paying you $10,000 each and every time you get an interview. The most you can do is ask him for more.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying because you, of course, already know you got a different, like you already hit it the nail. You already said it. You can't get mad at a guy for wanting to grow.
Yeah, he's trying to experiment with different direction.
Right.
Right. But it's okay. So that's, I guess, you're throwing out terms like hypocritical because he's gained success with something for so long, but then again, what is so long in this business, right?
Right.
He's gained success. He's built a reputation. He's built a persona, and now he's completely turning it around.
Right. I mean, he's gonna keep the same persona. I haven't seen him on stream. Honestly, I feel like, I mean, the only thing the streaming world is so big, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Streaming world is like unknown territory.
Well,
I don't get on Twitch.
Is the streaming world so big? And here's the reason why I don't think it is. Okay. The problem with streaming, and the thing is, we're gonna be on streaming
we could be streaming this right now.
Yeah, we should be streaming this right now. We could be streaming this right now. Right?
It'll happen though.
Okay, but here's the
just
thing.
Like us getting into a podcast, we're eventually gonna stream.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, we're not gonna be labeled as streamers because when somebody sees us streaming, to them we're streamers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that same piece of content that is streaming right now, if this was streaming, will end up being rebroadcast on YouTube in long form and as shorts. Pieces of it will be cut up and put into Instagram and TikTok and Threads, right? The problem with a lot of times streamers pretty much pigeonhole themselves as streamers. So that's all they do. So what is the drawback of streaming versus video on demand? Like what's the difference between streaming content and pre-recorded content on YouTube? What's the difference?
What do you mean I got to be there live?
Exactly. So, well, no, I mean, technically we had to do this too. So if we were recording this, it's the same couple hours out of our lives as streaming is. So as a streamer, there's no difference, right? But, okay, what's the difference? And the problem is this. If you're gunning for people who are watching you specifically for streaming, right? Mm-hmm. So like what have I said about YouTube channels, blogs, content like that, right? There's space for hundreds of thousands of people doing the same thing because you watch a little bit of this here, then you watch a little bit of that there. You read a recipe about how to make chicken piccata on one site, then you check another one to compare them, then you check a third. There's room at the table for a bunch of people doing the same thing. Okay? Not so in streaming because streaming, so like I said in the past, the difference between having a food blog versus having a restaurant is that one person can patronize 15 food blogs in less than 20 minutes trying to compare and contrast. Can you have lunch in more than one place in a day?
No.
You can if you're going to be a tubbleard, right? But in streaming, you're only interested in watching somebody live. So if you're watching somebody live right now, you're not watching somebody else live right now.
True.
Right? That's the problem with streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you're pretty much when you're streaming, you're competing directly against somebody else who's streaming at the same time you are.
Yeah, and some of these people got millions of people watching.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that I noticed is like a lot of times they're not really doing nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen streamers cutting their nails before.
Huh?
I've seen streamers cutting their nails, like they're taking a break,
Yeah.
cutting their nails. They're making a sandwich. They're doing something, right? I mean, I don't get me wrong. We should be streaming, right? But we should also focus on other forms of content simultaneously, right? What we stream becomes other things. A lot of streamers stream exclusively. You can only catch them on Twitch. I mean, they're streaming right now.
Twitch or Kick.
Yeah.
Because Kick is becoming a bigger one.
And the funny thing is, people who use those platforms, they don't spend a lot of time watching, because you can go on somebody's channel on Twitch when they're not on there and watch their stuff that they recorded before.
Right.
You can, but that does not get anywhere near the views that they get when it's streaming live. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas, and that's what's funny, that same piece of content that you have as a pre-recorded video on Twitch that nobody's watching on YouTube can be getting views.
Yeah.
Because people go on YouTube expecting to see pre-recorded content.
True. I mean, it like I'm only on there because I want to see pre-recorded content or like podcast or anything like that. You know, I'm not one of those people, like I'm not going on Apple Music to look for podcasts. I go on YouTube to look for my podcast. You know, man, like shoot, to be honest with you, I mean, I think because like how I was saying, like I feel like everything is clicking. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the things I got back into this week was posting on Instagram and posting on TikTok.
Okay.
And it was all because
you
it was
the threads yet?
I'm gonna get to threads because me and Quentin just talked about it.
Yeah.
Like threads is gonna happen.
Oh, Quentin, so what's your threads number right now? I don't want to go off topic too much. What's your threads number? I mean, like, guesstimate. Don't you have to?
I hadn't looked. I just been posting. I hadn't really looked. It's somewhere near 8,000.
Okay.
Views, that is.
Yes.
Views.
Yes. So get this, man. Believe it or not, Jerome's threads for Fit Beyond 40 have hit over 110,000 now.
I can see that.
It's kicking ass.
Yeah.
We need him and I have to get on the ball. We have to release our product.
Yeah.
Because I've already got 2 collaborations lined up with much bigger influencers that want to promote it. We have to get a contract out for the affiliate cut for them. But it's ready to go. I mean, like, you know, multi-platform release of content's the way it has to be. You know, you can't just be a streamer. You can't just be someone on one form of social media. You can't just be someone with a YouTube podcast. You can't just be a blogger with a website. You got to be all those things. Okay, because content can be shared across all those. You don't have to be making content exclusively for each separate thing. One round of content creation can become multiple, like this, right? I mean, we record these on OBS, right? And OBS can stream while it records.
Right.
Okay. I mean, it's just a matter of clicking another button. I mean, it's a matter of us setting up our own streaming, our own channel, whatever.
But even that, like, and you can dual stream. We can be streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at the same damn time.
You just have to. I mean, I just have to make sure that my internet's solid enough.
Yeah,
that's all you need, right? You know, we'll get to that, but you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into one kind of content creation, which a lot of people do.
No.
Right? There's so much you can do out there. And while we're on it, the thing about Charleston White being hypocritical has come up, but let's talk about something that was weird. I love the interaction we're getting, regardless if they hate us or they love us. I just love the interaction. Right? I'm loving it.
The incel?
The incel thing, right? Okay, so it's been pointed out that we share a lot of the views that incels share. And it's true. Yeah. I mean, the three of us, you know, I don't come out and say that I'm I don't say that I'm a right-wing creator. I don't say that I'm a conservative per se, right? And the reason why I don't say that is because I have views on certain things that run very counter to that. Okay? A lot of people out there now, especially some really successful creators, they are an all or nothing kind of a crowd, right? If they believe in conservative, if they have conservative views, they feel that they're conservative on everything. Okay, if you have liberal views, progressive views, you are liberal and progressive on everything, right? Which is how it's how things are turning out now, but it's not necessarily the best thing. Think about it, right? It's hard for Democratic politicians to get elected if you are going to be extremely left about everything, right? Because some of those, especially some of the social stuff, is really wacky, right? Some things make sense, but some stuff doesn't, right? You kind of have to, you have to. I mean, you can have views that don't necessarily line up, right? You can be conservative you can be conservative in one area and liberal in another. Right? Like, let's have a couple good examples. But a lot of people out there, their views are straight up conservative about everything. Okay? And if they really feel that way, that's perfectly fine, right? But I know for a fact that some people that I know who are conservative about whether they're creators or not, some of the stuff that they back publicly, they don't believe it. Right? Like, do you really think Trump is anti-abortion?
Trump has probably had abortion before.
Yeah, I'm sure Trump has had.
He had an abortion on South Park.
I'm sure he's paid for a bunch of those. I mean, like, speculating, okay, but a guy who gets around because he likes the ladies, right? Okay, so at the same time, part of his campaign is the nuclear family. Like the husband and the wife, 2-point-something kids, owning a house, like the happy family. Okay, the religious right that backs him is all about the sanctity of marriage, right?
Yeah.
How many times has he been divorced?
Right.
Does he really believe that? Right? No, but he says what he needs to say. See, everything about him right now is extreme right. The dude was a Democrat before. Okay? Everything about him is extreme right now. Do you think he's at all religious? I don't think so.
I think he found people that liked him, and he just kept going.
Yeah, he tells people what they want to hear, right?
Yeah.
Okay? And, I don't fault him for wanting to win. Okay? He says what he needs to say to win in whatever situation he's in. Okay? I think that he's aware of the hypocrisy. Okay?
Right.
If you're hypocritical and aware of the hypocrisy, it's not necessarily okay, but hey, you're just pragmatic. Okay? Like in my case, I mean, like I've on certain social issues, I have right-leaning views. Right? Let's like a couple of them, like, there's a few things like trans people in sports. I have an extreme right view on that. An extreme right-leaning view on that. Okay. Trans
but
people,
but the only thing is, like, when you say extreme right, it's because it's right.
Well, yeah, I mean
that's
that's how I feel, right? It's extreme right. I mean, like, they don't really belong in the sports of the gender that they're making their move into, right?
Yeah, you can't identify as something and play that sport.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's one thing. Like, and the whole idea of okay, here's another one. Heavy people, like heavy women who call men who won't date them bigoted. I don't believe that. I believe that you date, you're attracted to what you're attracted to. Okay.
There's people that like big girls, and
there's some people who don't, right?
But
a big girl or a big guy who will call somebody out because they won't date him, that's not right. You
No.
know, that you can't make a person be into you,
No.
right? And that they're not racist because of that. And in fact, you know, I've said it before, like the world of relationships, sexual or otherwise, is the one area where you can have racist thoughts take play, right? Because people prefer certain things, right?
Right.
You know, just because you're a black dude who won't date a white woman doesn't mean you're racist. You just may not be into that. You might actually not even date black women. You might date Asians only,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
I mean, and people talk about, oh, don't fetishize me. Dude, it's when it comes to what you're into, you can't have that. That's a thing.
I mean, like that's why I always look at it as like, yo, if it don't sexually attract you, it's just like it's all right for that person to be a friend. Just because I don't want to date you, don't mean that like we can't be cool or we can't
Exactly.
kick it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
I just don't want to date you.
in those areas, yeah, I've got some conservative viewpoints, but at the same time, you know, I mean, we may have different opinions on this, but I don't mind like trans people or trans people. I mean, like, you know, they do their thing. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I don't see nothing. I mean, I'm not gonna say. Look, we're not gonna talk about right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it can go there. But if you're gonna do it, that's your choice.
Yeah, you do
It's for
you.
me. It's not my choice.
Yeah,
Like I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm gonna do,
yeah,
and I'm not gonna promote that. But if that's what you want to do, how am I gonna sit there and judge you? I ain't perfect. That's how I look at it.
yes. I mean, like, there's some things I firmly believe in, and other things I really could care less about. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna.
Now I don't feel like trans people should be in schools.
What do you mean?
Now, like teaching in schools.
Ah, okay. Oh, so
I feel like
in
it
other words,
creates
like as examples to mold the minds of the younger generation.
is that, but it causes too many problems. I recently saw like a video where pretty much like it was a trans teacher um who was teaching the kids or whatever, and one of the kids like wanted to fight her or fight him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And of course the kids start saying, "You got a penis." Like, he said used the other word, but you got a penis. He just kept saying that to like, and this the trans person kept saying that that's what the kid kept saying to him. And it caused a problem where it was like, yo, if my son would have went off on you like that at the school, like, I'm not gonna apologize to you. I'm gonna be like, look, you shouldn't even really be here, like teaching at the school. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I never had a trans teacher. I did have like female teachers that were like more masculine. You know what I'm saying? But they never like teachers. They like a lot of my teachers never like told us about their lifestyle or told us what they did outside of school.
Yeah.
Except the ones that were married.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The ones that were married will let you know, but other teachers wouldn't tell you all that.
I don't know. For me, I mean, and that's the great thing about what we do here. We can have different opinions about certain things, right? I mean,
Yeah.
actually, in that situation, right? Okay, so I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with having trans teachers, except if they're. And here's the funny part. This is going to sound bad as it is, but they just can't be like full on like. And I don't know if you know what I mean. They like making they can't make their identity a thing.
You're already making your identity a thing by changing your identifying yourself.
Well, no, I mean, but the thing is, I mean, like, just like female teachers shouldn't be overly sexual in school.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, a trans female teacher or a trans male teacher dress conservatively, not making their situation a thing, right? See, the problem, I mean, like that thing that you brought up, it just, like,
I feel like it's too much. Like if I like people are not gonna like to hear this, but If I went to the PTA meeting, parent teacher conference, and like the teacher was like, "Look, I am a trans man," I might pull my son out that class. My girlfriend might not like it, but I'm gonna be like, "Look,
yeah,
bro."
but that is your belief, you know. But the thing is, you know, the reason why that kid was acting that way
I
is
forgot the actual incident. It was actually an incident where I came to the conclusion like he shouldn't have been teaching at that school. He shouldn't have been teaching in a school in general.
I mean, you can believe that, but I mean, we can differ there. You know, this
Mhm.
it's just I just think that you shouldn't. They teachers should pretty much focus on the teaching aspect of things. Let the life aspect of things be done by the parents.
Man, you don't, man, come on. Armand, we was probably like the same type of person in high school. You telling me that you wouldn't have been, man, it would have been jokes. It would have been
Yeah,
on every single day in class. We
yeah, it
give
would have.
it to
Yeah, it would
you.
have. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
at all times, we giving it to you.
Wait,
And
see,
if you send me to the, like, what?
and
Oh,
and I
man.
will
Cause I'm,
admit though, I mean, like, have you ever had a hot teacher?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I remember. I really don't want to say her name because she should still be alive. Okay. There was
Mhm.
this one teacher that was just smoking. Okay.
Yeah.
Her first she taught English, right? Her
Yeah.
first year teaching, right? And I was in her first class ever. She announced that. The
Yeah.
bad thing to announce, right? And she was just wow. It's like she was barely out of college,
Oh, wow.
right? So as a freshman in high school, and I've looked like this pretty much since I was like in eighth grade. Okay, so
Wow.
I was the guy scoring alcohol during high school for everybody else,
Right.
right? And I pretty much dressed like this ever since that too, right?
Right.
So it's funny because people one time we accidentally ended up at the same resort area together.
Mhm.
It was some like I forget what the holiday break was, but it was Lake Arrowhead. Okay. And I was there with my family. You know, I was at the time I was like a sophomore in high school or a junior, one or two. And we ended up there, right? And I
Mhm.
was with my family, right? My parents had taken a whole big extended family thing. We went there, ran into her there, right? She was with a bunch of girlfriends from college, right?
Mhm.
And I saw pictures because I ended up seeing her there, and I hung out with them for a little bit. It was kind of funny,
Yeah.
right? And I looked the same age as them. I
Mhm.
saw some photos of it later on. I looked the same age as them. Okay, and then what happened? My family. So I didn't go to school. I didn't come back to school for Monday because we stayed a little bit longer. I guess my parents called me in sick, right?
Yeah.
And she had mentioned in the class that he's not here today. Oh man, he still must be tired from this weekend.
Oh.
And then she said, "Oh, I ran into him at Lake Arrowhead." Blah 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 blah. Blah. And you know the person that I was in high school. So Remy, so I was talking about you and I in high school, right? The person that I
Yeah.
was in high school, other kids in the class made a really they jumped to that assumption, that conclusion.
Yeah.
That shit got around. I came to school the next day and that shit had gotten around. I had a
Yeah.
bunch of guys on the football team like, you know, giving me high fives. Dude, what the hell's going on? That I'm like, how did that even happen? What the hell? How'd that get out there, right?
Yep. It's
And it
just
was
high
just a little
school.
innocent thing said by a really, really hot teacher.
Right. But see, this is my point. Just think about it. Like look, Armand. I remember we had a teacher that like the camel toe would show. Like, and that was the thing.
Yep.
Everybody knew about that teacher, right? Just think about we having a trans man or trans woman, whatever, inside the
Yeah, you
class.
know, I
It
could, okay, especially back in those days. I mean, I haven't been in the classroom forever, so I don't know what modern classrooms are like.
yeah.
But dude, have you ever seen those AI videos being created now about how the people love the '80s, you know, how things were back then,
Uh-huh.
right? The '80s, Raymond, you missed out on. I mean, it was the best time to be a kid. Because you could like things that now are completely like what the hell or taboo.
Yeah.
So I was in I hate math. Okay, so that's where I break the stereotype. Asians are supposed to be good at it. And it turns out I am good at it. I just don't like it.
Right.
I don't like it because I have to work at it. Because you can't memorize math.
No.
Right.
You got to know the
Those
concept.
equations, you change one thing, you have to figure that stuff out. Like I can memorize a book. Yeah, I can memorize history. I can't memorize math. So I hated it because I had to work. Right. So I always did poorly in that class. And I remember I had to, one of my math classes, you ever had a high school that had like a temporary classroom?
Yeah.
Like
bungalows?
like a little trailer?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So I remember my math class was in this trailer. And I had this teacher was also pretty hot, but she was older. Okay. She kept it tight. Okay. She really did. Okay. And she wore really tight clothing.
Yeah.
Okay. She wasn't that old, but she was old enough to have a kid in my grade because her kid was in my grade.
Wow.
Okay. And so she had me I needed extra so I needed some extra points, right? I needed some makeup work, right? And so she had always offered, especially she wanted to help out the athletes. And so what she did is she says, come to the what are they called again? They're called the
bungalows.
What?
The bungalows.
Yeah, we call the portables, whatever it was.
Call them the portables or the bungalows.
Yeah, so I had to go there after school, and she said, bring my PE clothes. Yeah, so this is what she did. She had me run laps around the portable.
What?
She had me put on my PE clothes, and she says, make sure they're shorts. So I put my PE shorts on, and I wore suits to school, babe. It was Miami Vice time, right? Okay. So I brought my PE clothes, and I changed in the portable from my Don Johnson outfit into my PE clothes, and I ran laps around the portable, okay? While she sat down on the steps of the portable and smoked cigarettes.
Oh, she could smoke during that?
Yeah, it was after
The
school.
teacher smoke and teach at the same time?
No, remember, after school. And also the portables, where the portables are, is where the smoking section is. So all the mod kids and all the rock, the kids who hang in the smoking section will be there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm running laps around the portable while she's sitting there on the steps of the portable watching me go by smoking cigarettes.
Wow.
See, that's acceptable in the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do that now?
No.
Heck no.
Can't smoke.
Right?
Can't smoke.
I mean, she's watching an underage kid running laps around her portable. A kid who's in the same grade as her son.
Nah, ain't happened. I don't know. Like if my son came and told me that's what the teacher did. Yeah, it would be a problem.
Would there? I'd be like,
not from me.
Okay,
but definitely from his mom.
Yeah,
definitely from his mom.
I mean, actually, the funny thing is, I was quite aware. I mean, even at that, of course, at that age, I was quite aware of what's happening here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my feeling was I was feeling good about it.
Hey, you put on the show for her, right?
Yeah, put on a really good show, right? I started running backwards. Some of the backwards.
I was about to say you started running backwards.
I'm freaking shuffling like because I was in wrestling. Like I'm shuffling across sometimes. Giving the show, right?
I did to Dion.
This is crazy. This is crazy. At that, like late, and when I was done, pretty much when I was done, her boyfriend. So because she's divorced from. Okay, so she's a white lady, right?
Yeah.
Her son, my grade, white dude, right? So she's divorced. Her boyfriend comes up. Okay. After I'm done, I've gotten dressed already, and she's giving me my extra credit, and she's writing it down for me. And as I'm done, her boyfriend pulls up. I guess she told him, I'll come a little bit later because I got to give a kid extra credit, right?
Mm-hmm.
He comes up, big ass black dude on a Harley.
What? Oh yeah. I mean, Armand.
Oh my God.
What? Like, let us find something like that out in school. It would have been on. Oh my God. Like, what? She had a black boyfriend?
Big ass black dude. Like pretty much,
Oh,
dude, Raymond,
man.
it was like you, except more of a punch, because he was a big ass Harley dude, right? But a guy
Yeah.
about your height, okay, heavier set, but real big. I mean, like you could tell he probably played college ball, maybe played pros for a season or two. Because it was a nice bike. It was a
Really?
nice bike. Yeah, the dude had freaking leather pants on.
She liked it on the dark side. It would have been jokes every single. She would have to kick us out of class. I like. Oh my God!
Well, no,
I still remember my Spanish
there were
teacher.
certain kids that got it that you would trust. I was one of those kids, right?
Yeah. Nah. Man, Armand. I'm just telling you. Some of my teachers. Like, and think about it, I wasn't like disrespectful, but it would go there. Like, I'll always just push the button just to push the button, just see how far I can go. And it was funny. Like, it was always, like, I'm telling you, we found out the teacher had a black boyfriend. It's on. That's only, like, I'm just thinking because I know how I was as a kid. And I know these kids is different. They got cell phones.
Mm.
So, and just going back to the thought, it's just like, I don't care what you do. But I feel like people of a trans nature shouldn't be around kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they should be around kids, even if they're in high school. I feel like it's just too much of a liability. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just too much of a distraction.
Yes.
A white teacher with a black boyfriend, that's different. All right, we can deal with that.
No, I mean, but in the okay, so okay, there's a side of opinion, right? But then there's a side of legality, right?
Yeah.
There's certain things we got to. I mean, even if we don't agree, we got to accept them, right?
Yeah.
Because you know that'll only fly at like a Catholic school,
Yeah.
or a Christian school, because at a private school, like if it's a
Yeah.
private religious school, they cannot hire somebody because it goes against
The religion.
the religion. That will work. But in a public school, there's no way to eliminate a trans teacher.
No, and I
Because it
I
becomes
respect that.
discrimination now.
Yeah, and I respect that. I understand. Like, but as a parent, I have my right to my opinion.
You do, of course.
You know what I'm saying? And honestly, the school that my son is at right now, I can see that happening. Like, I can see
Is
that.
that some
Like,
wacky progressive school?
huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't as progressive as, like, it feels like the closer you get to the beach, the more progressive it gets.
Yeah.
But I've seen some of these kids, and I trust me, I have very, very extensive conversations with my son. Like, even to a point where, like, that's why I say, like, I don't really we just start turning back on the radio. But we don't really listen to music like that in the car. We have conversations.
I'm telling you,
Because
like,
it's a lot to talk about.
You, as a parent, you have the right to your opinions. You have the right to your thoughts. Then, what I look at it is like this: if you want something a certain way, well, you got to go somewhere where that's the prevalent.
Yeah, you gotta pay for it.
Yeah, or not necessarily pay for it, but let's say, for example, okay, so let's say that you have more conservative views about raising children. Right?
Yeah.
You can go somewhere where the community's like that.
Yep.
Right. I mean, because if you live in a progressive community, if the majority believes a certain way, the majority rules most of the time, right? So you got to accept where you're sending them.
Right.
Right. Obviously, a trans teacher won't be working somewhere where they find no support. Right?
But you know what? I think, and even going back to the original case study or whatever, the original situation, that was like a hood school that trans person was working in.
Were they okay? So, what was the situation? I mean, like, okay, so there's always going to be that outlier that tries to put themselves where they're not wanted.
Yeah.
There's always that one outlier who tries to do that, right?
Yeah.
There's somebody who's there intentionally to disrupt things.
Right.
Okay, but that's an outlier. that they're not
So I was
all.
like, I don't think this person was
They weren't there
doing
for that.
it. I don't think it was like to disrupt things. I think it was like, I'm trans, but I need a job. I teach. I went to teach at a school, and they found out that I am trans, pretty much.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Where that's the only thing. It's just I just know kids, man.
Well, I mean, unfortunately
Don't
for that,
happen.
person, you know, I mean, like that person. I mean, this is going to sound terrible, but they need to find employment where that is accepted.
And that I just I don't like it. I feel like it's an outlier trying to be accepted in a school.
Well, I mean, they can
Unless
be
you're trying to further your agenda,
yeah. I
which
mean,
a lot of them try to.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There's some. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of them. You know, just like on everything, the loudest ones are usually the minority of people,
True.
right? So where you get these people trying to push their agendas, it's unfortunate that the squeaky wheels and both sides of things, right? People trying to push agendas try to insert themselves in places where they can, right? A good example, I mean, like, and this is coming crashing down now, how social agendas have been pushed into our entertainment media.
Yeah.
Okay, that's backfiring. I mean, that's being changed because they're losing money. So they realize, okay, it ain't gonna work, right? But the funny thing is this: on the other side of things, okay, so when we talk about that, we're usually talking about people with progressive agendas, okay, trying to make their way into things like Disney, Marvel, where they have huge audiences and they're trying to surprise you with agendas when you just wanted to watch lasers.
Star Wars.
Yeah, you just wanted to watch Star Wars or Marvel. All of a sudden, you're getting agendas thrown at you. Okay. The funny thing is that the conservative side of things, people pushing agendas do things differently. Instead of trying to infiltrate a mass media organization, they create their own conservative media. Like right now, there's a whole bunch of conservative film production companies popping up.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, that's where I agree with what they're doing. I mean, like, you know, you don't have to agree with their agenda, but the way that they're furthering it, I can agree with. And the thing is part of their agenda, I can get behind. But they're creating content that people expect to find that in. Right? You see certain actors, you see certain production companies, and you know, oh shoot, that's a Christian movie. Right? So they're pushing conservative agendas in a conservative movie. So everybody buying tickets to that knows that they're going to see that. Right? You don't see gay couples on the Hallmark Channel for the most part.
No.
Okay? And you know that that's how it's going to be. All that family stuff is going to be like what is considered traditional family stuff.
Right.
Okay? No, that's what they create, and that's what you expect, and that's what you get, right? Like you never expected to walk into Lightyear and see two moms. Not that there's anything wrong with two moms, but it brings up a lot of uncomfortable questions for parents bringing kids in. Wow, that's two moms. How'd they have a kid?
Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to.
I didn't want to explain that at this point in time, right?
Didn't want to explain that. Didn't want to. No.
Like I saw a recent article about Willow, and it's so funny. This article, we've talked about this before. Do you guys remember what Willow is?
You had told me what Willow was.
Yeah.
Willow was an 80s movie by Ron Howard.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the what's the guy's name? The small guy, the small actor. He was in the Harry Potter movies playing what's it called? Goblins. Anyway, he was there was a, can we say, is dwarf the right word nowadays? Anyway, little person. So this dude was playing Willow, okay? And it was an 80s movie. It was a big one of Val Kilmer's early movies. Okay, it was a cool movie. It was a great movie. It was a fantasy movie. Okay, well, Disney brought it back on the Disney Channel into a series, and I'm like, oh, sweet, Willow. right? Willow's a children's movie. It was a children's movie, and now it's on Disney Plus, and it's for children. Okay, so it opens up with what was the baby in Willow. Alora Dana is now a grown-up woman. Okay, and she's a princess, and she's training with her bodyguard, right? And they're fighting, right? It's a cool fight scene, and I'm thinking, man, the energy is weird in this fight scene, and all of a sudden at the end of it, it's one of those things where she's pinned her down, and then there's a kiss. Okay, and it's not like a forced kiss. It turns out they're a couple. It's like that's the very first scene in a movie for kids. Right now, there's a whole group of progressive people out there who are going to hate this because they're saying, well, what's wrong with a same-sex couple? There's nothing wrong with a same-sex couple except that's content that you reserve for somebody who knows what that is.
Yeah.
Right.
It's reserved for people who know about the birds and the bees.
Yeah. I'm not going to be, if I had a young kid watching that, like imagine if I grew up in the 80s and I loved Willow. I sit my 10-year-old kid, hey, dude, what? I tell them all about Willow. Let's watch the sequel. You sat down, all of a sudden there's that, like, oh man, I'm having to be explaining this crap all night long.
Yeah, you guys watching this gay movie.
And funny thing is that, so Willow, see, that's my first reaction to when I saw that. That was my first reaction. And Disney's reaction eventually, they took it off. It's a brand new production. It's entirely gone from their streaming library.
It should. Like, because at the end of the day, it's like it's Disney and a lot of people are moving away from Disney because it's like you're not respecting that we don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks.
Yeah. And back to the hypocritical stuff, viewpoints like this that we have are shared by the incel crowd. Right? A lot of what we believe, the conservative social viewpoints, a lot of these things that we believe, they believe as well.
Yeah, because right? You know what? Even addressing that, right? Like one of the things, like they kind of made it to where it's like we didn't respect like the purity of marriage or something like that. Where it was like that's definitely not the case. The case is we want you to have a woman. You don't have to have sex with that woman before you get married, but have a woman. You know what I'm saying? Don't live your life. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know what I'm saying? Embracing the opposite sex.
No. And also the our thing is also, so a belief that I have that goes against my other beliefs. So like one of my beliefs that doesn't jive with anything conservative, I believe, is that no one's entitled to have anything.
No.
Right? I mean, if you can get a woman, you can get a woman. If you can't, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Nobody's forced to go out with anybody. I mean, like, it's not a thing. I mean, like, if a woman has standards that are what's it called? That are unattainable, right? That's her problem. Move on to the next one. She wants somebody 6 feet tall making $400,000 a year who's 25 and good looking and all these different things. Well, that's her problem. Okay. There's other people out there, right? There's gonna be, there's gonna be somebody that you jive with, as long as you're not like, making expecting them to be something like, if you do want, I guess, a trad wife type, you can look for that, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're out there. But a lot of trad wife content creators are just doing it for the views. I'm sure I don't believe that. Okay. Maybe some do. Okay. But I'm sure a lot of them are just doing it for views and they're getting them. Okay. We say things for views, but for the most part, I think we believe everything we say.
I believe, this is purely me. This is not me just saying stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is me. Like, if I didn't believe what I was saying, like, man.
And that's why our opinions are everywhere.
Right?
We believe things that contradict other things we say. That's because sometimes belief is an emotional thing, and sometimes emotions don't make sense. Right?
Mm.
I'm friends with people I should hate. Okay. And then there's other people who are just like them that I'm not friends with and I hate them because there's something about the individual. Who knows?
Right.
Right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, you two guys know, I'm probably one of the most casually racist people you run across. Right? I'm not racist because I'm racist. I'm just racist because I say stuff like it, like as if I was living 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? I grew up in the 80s and I stayed there. I'm the kind of person who settles into something they like, and I stay the same way, right?
Yeah.
Do I? Okay, so you guys know me pretty well by now. Raymond, you know me longer, right?
Mm.
I have friends in every single race, right? And I insult them all equally,
Yeah.
right? You don't mean anything by it, and for the most part, people get it. Okay.
Yeah. It's not like And then one thing I can tell you, you don't ever do it out of anger. It's never out of anger. It's all out of just joke. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody can't take a joke, that's their problem.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
the
what I'm saying?
big thing. I think that's the thing nowadays. Nobody can take a joke.
Nobody can take a joke.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I haven't really read through all the comments yet. I heard we got a lot of hate comments on the incel one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of hate ones. That, and like honestly, that was the first time I ever like really just enjoyed insults.
Right. But see,
I
to me, like
enjoyed it.
I look at them and they can believe what they want. That's their
believe me
thing.
more.
And I know that. See, there's some people who just can't see both a lot of different sides of things. They believe very firmly one way only. Right.
Right.
And a lot of stuff. Dude, a lot of stuff we say is gonna anger the progressive crowd. Quite obviously, right? But then at the same time, what I don't like about the incel. Okay, so I may not know incel lifestyle that deeply, right? But the name itself, right? They're I guess a lot of the time they're one thing I guess that, and are we wrong here? One of their beefs is about how women are shallow and are like they don't appreciate what they bring to the table.
And that's why I'm like, you're an incel. You have not experienced that many women. You have not. Like you can't tell me that you're only seeing certain women online. You have not really sat and met a lot of women. And that's why people were like, because I brought up my own experiences or whatever. And I was like, yo, it's okay. Like, it's okay to be oblivious. You know what I'm saying? But it's once you become aware, that's where you start to realize, like, oh, okay, I was tripping. Yeah. Because for all those incels, I bet you there's somebody out there that really likes them and they're not paying attention to them.
Yeah. Maybe they're too focused on specific traits they want. I don't know.
Or they don't come outside
maybe they're just
enough.
not trying. And this comments, this little thing now will probably get a bunch of hate because I can't relate. Thing is, a lot of our beliefs they line up, but I just can't relate to that because I don't see. So a lot of what we talk about is manosphere type stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Honestly, it is. Right. A lot of stuff, a lot of beliefs fall in that category. But at the same time, one thing I'm completely into equality. Right. A woman out earning me doesn't faze me.
True.
Right. At all. Okay. Me out earning a woman doesn't faze me either.
Right.
Right. A woman wanting the right to do whatever they want, that's their thing. Okay. They can. Okay. I don't care about that. Okay. While at the same time, I'm a firm believer in like the whole no trans people in sports. Well, that's wrong. No trans people in the sport they're trying to go to in the professional. I mean,
They should have their own
they
league.
should do their own thing, right?
I think it should be a genderless league.
Right.
If you choose to identify, I feel like you should just be genderless, and you guys have your own sports. I feel like you should, but I don't like the somebody identifying as a woman gets to go after we saw that in the Olympics where they let that man fight that woman and she was screaming that it wasn't fair.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, that needs to end.
Yep.
I would never support it. I would never want to watch it. And there's nothing that you can do to change my mind about it. Like it was just like when they were they had the rugby player, the rugby player who was like, I think it was in Canada.
Dude, that guy wasn't even trying to look like a woman.
And then his girlfriend gonna come and say, "Oh, this is my wife." You know what I'm saying? I was like, I cannot believe, and they were all defending it.
That's just a dude who wanted to win at rugby.
No, it was just a man that like really when you looked at him, he may have had like that lady's taking advantage of him. Like that dude probably has some type of autism or something. He is not in his right mind to be wanting to play rugby against women. Yeah, not in his right mind at all.
Yes, I mean, so some of what we advocate lines up with what they do. A lot of it, some of what we advocate doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. Like I mean, like the manosphere stuff, where we don't line up with the manosphere stuff. So we do line up in the manosphere stuff about having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole defending. What was that dude's name? Aziz Ansari having his bad date.
Yeah.
That was not his fault, you know.
That wasn't his fault. Like, man.
But at the same time, we don't line up with the manosphere stuff where we think women are beneath us type thing.
No. But I also this is gonna be controversial, but these Epstein photos, unless them women was underage, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. Bill Clinton wasn't even the president when that shit was happening. Yeah, he can be in the pool naked with these women as long as they wasn't underage.
Yeah.
Because they blocking out their faces. How do we know?
Yeah.
They got pictures with him and Michael Jackson, which I thought was AI. But even if it was Michael Jackson, what did he do?
Yeah. I mean, it's a party. Nothing's wrong with what they're doing.
Like he was like Jeffrey Epstein, the way they making it seem was like he was just the pimp of all pimps. Like that's all it was.
Well, okay, here's the podcast. Now we're into his Epstein thing. Or okay, so this is somebody trying to shove some Puritan notion down our throats, right? Think about this, okay? So a lot of the stories I will talk about happen in places where what I'm talking about is legal. Mm-hmm. Okay? If these photos were being taken of Americans partying in a foreign country with girls that were legal in that country, is there anything wrong with it?
It wouldn't be a thing.
No, it still would be a thing. Okay, let's pretend these girls are not underage. Let's pretend these girls are all. See, that's the thing. But they're young, but they're not underage. There's a huge difference between being young and being underage.
And underage, yes.
Right, and I see women not just women. I see people who says, "Oh my God, Epstein's got all these young girls," as if it's something terrible, and it's not. It might offend you morally, but it's not illegal. Partying with a bunch of 40-year-olds, partying with a bunch of 18-year-olds is not a problem.
Nope.
Is any law being broken there?
No.
Now, the trafficking thing, I mean, did he bring them across state lines for the purposes of paying them for sex, having them? We don't know the situation. We see photos at a party.
Yeah.
We know the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's say that these women came across state lines of their own accord with their own finances. They paid their way. Let's say some of them flew in for this party, paid their own way. Okay.
Right.
And came to this party. And, now obviously if they were being paid for sex, that's another thing. right? But then again, okay, Raymond, you and I still having, and Quentin having been married, right? Dude, we all pay for sex. Whether
You know
it's
that was our
Way or
conversation at
another.
the dinner
one
table
way or another, you
yesterday.
pay for you, right?
No,
And
that was our
and vice
conversation at the
versa.
dinner table yesterday.
What's that?
That was our conversation at the dinner table yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, and vice versa. I mean, like, if you're in a relationship with somebody, both of you are paying for sex.
You're paying for sex. I get
Both
it.
of you are, right?
My brother was having a hard time coming with that concept where it's like, even if it doesn't matter that you don't go to a prostitute and be like, oh, okay, let's go do this and I'm gonna give you this amount of change. Or like my younger brother, because younger brother wild out at one point in time.
Okay.
And he lost his wife and everything like that.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because he had a strip club problem.
Oh no.
And
Okay.
inside the strip clubs, you already know.
Feel for him.
You can go pretty far inside of a strip club. I'm just gonna say he went far. My older brother looks down upon that. I ain't never have to pay no woman for nothing. And our whole thing was like, yes, you do. Like, he talking about how he directly does something. Indirectly, you took in women to dates. You've done this. You've done that. Even though, like, I can agree, because I feel I'm in the middle of it. Like, I don't see nothing wrong with direct or indirect, because I've done both. So it's like, with my older brother, I get it, where he still don't feel that way, because he's like, he's not the type of person who's ever tricked off before.
Really?
No. Like, if I get deep down with my brother and I have to really ask him, I'll put money that he say he's probably never spent more than, say, $300-$400 on a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, today I spent $300 on my girlfriend's Christmas present, where there's probably people who spend way more than that. But I can tell you right now, like, I've been in those situations where I had a girl that I was dating, she gave me a whole bunch of shit for Christmas, and I didn't give her a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, my brother is more on that spectrum. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I see where it was hard for him to come to grips.
Is your older brother's married, right? Is he
No.
married? No, he's still single.
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
They're engaged, but they haven't been married
Okay.
yet.
Because paying, there's many forms of paying, right? Like,
Yeah.
Paying could be sitting through movies you hate.
Well, yeah.
Right. Paying could be going to events and parties and meeting people you would rather not be there. Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's paying. I mean, like,
That's paying. You paying the price,
right? It's not just taking them to dinner, buying them gifts, paying a mortgage.
It's the time that you spend.
It's the time. I mean, like, and doing things you don't want to be doing.
True.
Right.
And in that case, he has.
And they do the same
sacrifices.
thing back. They do the same thing back.
Right.
Right. Going with me to events that she doesn't want to be at. Watching me do stupid stuff that she doesn't want to participate in.
Right.
Right. Watching me collect stupid, like things that she'd rather, but she does it. Right. I do stuff that I don't want to do too. Right.
Right.
I spend money on things that I think are ridiculous and shouldn't be bought.
Right. Like, I bought spa tickets today, and I did, like, when I walked in there, I was like, man, I'm really about to spend this money for her to do what? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna argue. Just swipe my card, bro. That's how I felt. I was like, man, just swipe my card and let's get this over with, bro. I ain't even gonna argue with you.
Anytime, and that's the thing. So once you're in a relationship, you're paying, both parties are paying constantly.
Yeah.
Right. When you're not in a relationship, okay, that's the thing though. So let's make all assumptions that things are happening where everything we're talking about is legal in that jurisdiction. Right? When you're younger, not even younger, when you're solo, okay, and I hear this all the time, like people say, I got needs, right? I guess people have needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
it's if you're in a jurisdiction where it's regulated, I mean, like, it's regulated, it's safe, okay? Oftentimes, like Raymond, like you said, direct paying sometimes better idea, because the thing about direct paying in a place where it is legal,
Yep.
And acceptable,
Right.
not even screw acceptable, where it's legal, okay?
Yeah.
You're in a jurisdiction where it's legal, you can get your needs met without having to do long-term paying. I mean, like, it's, what's that song by KG Elephant? Like, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked. There's a line in that where it's like, he's asked, like, I guess a girl's offering him sexual services for money, and he asks her why she does that. And, like, basically she says, okay, so she says, you can pay me, I'll be on my way. Like,
Right.
that's why you're paying. You're not paying, well, you are paying for the activity, but you're also paying so that when it's done, you don't have to see them. I mean, like, you're just there for one thing. Okay? And both of you guys are getting something from this transaction.
Mm.
They're getting their fee because that's their job. Okay? You're getting the ability to do what you're there to do and then have to not think about it afterwards.
Right.
Okay? And that's, if it's something you can afford, if it's something you can easily afford, that might be a route to go. If you're in a place where you can do that legally. We're not saying do it here in California because that's illegal.
That's
right?
illegal.
That can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay? The moral thing is out. We're scrapping that. We're talking about the legal thing, right? So you're in a place where that can happen. As a single person, maybe that's your choice. That's the route you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trying to cultivate a relation. Because honestly, I mean, like, at Quentin's age, being single, and especially when you start really earning, do you really, I mean, some people might want lifelong companionship. Others don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you've never tried just having fun, you should try it just to see what it's like. Maybe that's your thing. Suddenly you become that confirmed bachelor. And I'm not using confirmed bachelor as in the way they used to say it in the 50s. Because when a person in the 1950s, when you use the word confirmed bachelor, that dude was gay.
Ah.
Okay? I'm not saying it that way. Okay? I'm saying, like, you're a dude who's found, like, you're like, you're George Clooney before he got married. George Clooney before he got married was like, dude, I'm liking this life. I'm liking doing what I want when I want. I got the money. I can do. He was enjoying being single, and he said he'd always be single. And then suddenly somebody came along who I guess he felt was worth it.
I mean, but
And
see,
now they're
like,
both paying.
but see, the thing about it, like, with Quentin, would you do like say, like, because right now I kind of get it. Like, you probably in a phase of like you really want to get money, right? So say you get your fortune, right? Would you put yourself in a position where you're dating women that are like your daughter's age?
See, that's a funny thing because I can't see it, but I can see it because mentally, some are on a mental track that's above, and then some aren't. Like, I've talked to some ladies in their 50s that sound like they're in their 20s. And I've talked to some women that are in their 30s that sound like they're in their 60s. So it all depends on the individual now. It's a weird thing to me.
Hold on, Quentin. So when he said, okay, so I don't know what Ray means by dating. So
not like it's 17-year-old. I'm talking about his older, like, you got an older daughter. Yeah. Like, what, your older daughter is what, 35 or something like that?
Well, is that something you're looking for, the conversation of it all? Or is it?
I got to be honest with you, and I hate to say it this, I can't stand a dumb woman.
Nothing wrong with that.
If we can't communicate, if there's no, like,
but that's the thing. I mean, like, is case. So let's. I mean, could you see yourself going to like an event that's just it's wild. It's like, it's a party. It's just this raging ass party. Everyone's just letting loose, and meeting someone there, and having a good time, without even knowing, like, because I've been to events in the past, let's call it where I've met women and had a really good time and never actually spoke to him. Because the event,
Never spoke to nobody.
because it's so loud. You're kind of talking, but you're yelling things back and forth, and it's more about physical, right?
No, I
Like I've
understand.
had that.
I
I
understand.
mean, I've been to events where it's like, yeah, you're partying it up, and I like the way she looks. She likes the way I look. We're drinking like crazy, having a really good time, and yeah, we tried talking to each other, maybe because we're yelling over the music, but right. And then you don't see him again. You know
I got invited to the armory.
what's that?
The armory. I got invited to the armory.
What's the
What's the
armory?
armory?
Oh, it's this wild party that they kind of run half clothing wise.
There you go. I mean,
Yeah.
you should be looking for a good time. I mean, like, not everything should be about relationships. You know what I mean?
I dig it now. I dig it. It's just different for me because I'm older and it's a different world than it was, say, when I was in my 20s. It's so different now because you have the mentality of a different woman now. It's like they're focused on different things rather than, just enjoying life. It's focused on cash flow.
Well, but that's
No,
the
that's
thing.
true.
So you're trying to I would try. Oops, I just dropped something. Hold on.
Be careful.
I'm not sure what it was. It's bouncing along. Oh shoot! It's a screw. It came off my mic. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you. Look
Okay,
for screws on my mic.
make sure not to lose that. Okay. But I mean, like, obviously, yeah, there's women looking out for their careers, and they're focused only on that. I mean, at the same time, like, that's not who you necessarily want to be engaging with, right? Maybe you want somebody looking for a good time. Period. Right? You don't look at people that aren't gonna fit in with what you're into right now. Right?
Yeah. I thought about I thought about this the other day, right? Because it's like it was some girls will be running around me, right? And I was like, if I popped up with one of these girls, she'll be younger than my sister. My sister like 25. And I was like, this wouldn't go well. So I always like that always gives me more inspiration to kind of stay where I'm at. But that's why I asked you the question was like, okay, would you pop out with like a 24-year-old? Like, because one thing, like, me and my friend just talked about this, right? And I have a friend who believes that it's something wrong with a man who dates a younger woman. And my response to that was like, the reason why you date a younger woman is because one, they don't have a lot of things formed about the world yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is why we have like fluid type of conversations because of younger people, right? One thing about a younger woman is that you're gonna have way more fun with a younger woman than you are with an older one. It just is what it is. It's rare that you're gonna find an older woman that you're gonna have fun with.
Yeah. Well, unless you find someone who's. I mean, the thing is, they're if they're fun, they're fun, right? Some younger women just don't have the self confidence to enjoy themselves yet.
Look,
Some
Armand,
do.
if Quentin was like, I'm about to go jump out a plane tomorrow, he is not about to find a 50-year-old that's around his age
But
that's
if
gonna
you,
want to jump out that plane,
but there's a
man.
thing though. If you did, she'd be fun.
Hate to
There,
say it, but
there
the
are some
opposite is
some
true.
out there that are like
Huh?
that.
The opposite is true. My sister is 50 plus and jumped out of a plane. That's not my thing.
Right?
Okay. Well, I'm just saying it, and like I know it's like okay, like what did I do? I yesterday, like when was it? Friday. And it was funny because I was like, man, you know what? This is my cue to end this. I went to observatory where the concert venue. One of my friends had performed, right? So like I come in there and of course this is the first time I've been to observatory and of course I did not go in like I was a regular person. Got will call, had an all access pass, I'm walking in through the back or through the kitchen, and I'm on stage. So like, I remember like I started coughing a lot because it was just like I was choking in the air, like smoke everywhere and everything like that. I couldn't bring my girlfriend to that.
Mm.
I couldn't be like, "Come on, baby, let's go." She's not coming. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that she's not going to do this. You know what I'm saying? I will only be able to accomplish that with a younger woman.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to accomplish even some of the people that I came up with, like I wouldn't. It's a lot of them that wouldn't come with me to that situation. Even the people who was performing, it's like, how do you know these guys? So I oh, after having like the conversation with my friend about being older and dating younger women, and I still feel the same way. Like it's just a younger woman. It's gonna be more of a you're gonna have more fun with it's going you have more of a probability to have fun with a younger woman than an older one.
Yeah, it could be the case. I mean, but there's outliers.
There are outliers, and then also it's like we thinking about like places where you're gonna be finding women. Like I just recently, this last week, I did the concert venue. The week before that, I did the club. Like the club was the same thing. Didn't go in as a regular person. Did not have to wait in line. We on stage, up in the DJ booth, and there's women everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And it was like you just kind of take your pick at that point in time. But it was just like I don't know. But even that was kind of interesting because it was like that one was like if you have to ask the age range of women, it was like from between 21, like being able to just get in there to like 60.
Jeez.
Like the aunties was up in there, bro.
Which brings us something else weird. Okay, so, um, okay, I was talking to my wife about this the other day. Okay, that okay, even being older now, right? So everybody watching these podcasts has been watching us on a screen, right? You guys have seen me in real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Raymond, I mean, like you and I have been Taste of Soul a bunch of times together, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just like I guess personality wise, what I want to make my mode of dress, everything. I really still enjoy getting attention from women of all ages, right? It's fun still. I mean, like and I tell my wife like she should be. I mean, she doesn't like it, but I tell her that like that's validation for you. It's like I'm still, somebody still wants your husband. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like you shouldn't look at it badly because I don't do anything about it. I mean, like it's flattering. You say thank, you say thank you, but I'm married, but it's just validation that at least somebody else still wants your husband besides you.
Right.
You're not settling still, right? But
Right.
this is crazy. I think Raymond, were you there when I was like one year was Taste of Soul, and what was I wearing? I looked like I put my hair down. I was like looking super Native American, right? And a group of aunties they rolled up on me, and it was the weirdest moment. I mean, like they weren't that old, but and that's the funny thing. So I find out of all people, middle-aged black women are the most forward.
They are very forward.
They see something they like, they'll let you know.
Yeah, but that's a double-edged sword. They see something they don't like, they're gonna let you know. and you know what? It's a lot that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? So but it's something that's admirable. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I understand exactly what you're talking because I deal with that every day. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say like I deal with what they don't like, but I also love the whole. They gonna hit on you. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna let you know what it is.
And like and they'll say stuff that really shouldn't be said in today's day and age.
Definitely.
Right. Yep.
Those are the ones that's gonna keep it real.
And same thing with younger girls too.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of okay, so what I find in the younger range, the ones that will approach me are going to be young women with money. Okay, because they're used to getting stuff. They're not intimidated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if somebody younger is the one for that, it's because they're used to getting what they want,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not afraid to I guess, as they would say today, shoot their shot. They
Yep.
really are. They really don't care. I mean, like, they if I say and obviously these, oh, thank you, I'm married. It's like, okay, so okay, nowadays I wear a ring. I didn't used to, but the funny part is wearing the ring now makes more of them come along.
Yeah. I just saw something like it was a meme today where it was like this lady was like, um, she enjoys being like she's a serial mistress and she
Okay,
enjoys
yeah,
having flings with married men during Christmas time. And it was just like, wow. Like, I mean, it's, I don't know. I'd stay away from women because I've encountered women like that.
I know
You know
someone
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
Yeah, where it's like, I stay away from women like that because I feel like those are the women that'll set you up.
Mm. I don't know what set me up. I mean, like, I just stay away from it just because they don't have boundaries,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, like, a woman hitting on you and then finding out you're married and backing off is one thing, um, but a woman hitting you, finding out you're married, and then really pressing it harder, that's the one you got to stay away from.
Yeah. Because she'll tell your wife.
I don't know if that, well, maybe in that case, but for
I think she'll blackmail you and try to tell
well,
your
no,
wife.
and so for me in the Philippines, it's a little okay. For Filipinos, it's a little bit different.
Uh,
There's women in the Philippines outnumber men,
mm-hmm.
so there's a lot of women I know over there who are perfectly fine being the mistress.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be a mistress. They don't want to be a fling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's why, number one, I don't engage in that. Number two, though, I wouldn't, just because I don't need to have a mistress.
Right.
There's absolutely no reason to have. I mean, like, that's just too complicated. Also, my wife ain't gonna be having that, right?
Right.
Okay. If that's what I truly wanted, was to have multiple, then I shouldn't have gotten married.
Mm.
And that's the thing. I mean, like, if you're an older guy, a financially settled guy, and you just want to just have a lot of fun, you can have that. So I'm just saying. So back to the bad influence. Experiment with different kinds of relationships, right? Experiment with having fun relationships. Experiment with casually dating
Young
relationships.
relationships.
Young relationships, older if you want to, whatever,
Do the Bill Clinton.
Dude,
The legal Bill Clinton. I would say it like that because we don't know
legal
yet.
Bill Clinton.
The legal Bill Clinton.
There was it's funny, once I turned like 30 something, especially, I would get a lot of attention from older women. It's just a thing. I mean, and typically they're also women with money. I find that women who are a little bit more out there, more forward, the more they're financially settled, right? And they're used to getting what they want, or they're just used to asking. A lot of times people don't get what they want because they don't ask. Like in the world of sales, I hate watching this. I hate watching a salesperson dance around selling you something. Right? They could have just said that they could have just tried to sell it to you from the get-go, and if you don't want to buy it, you don't want to buy it, they can move on, right? They're wasting their time trying to sell something to somebody who doesn't want it. Right? So, as in relationships, put it out there. If they don't want it, move on. Right? Rather than wasting the concept of the friend zone. You ever heard of the friend zone?
Yeah.
Yep. The concept. See, the friend zone is full of people who just couldn't ask.
True.
They became too familiar with them as a friend.
True.
And now they're stuck in that friend zone. They just didn't ask. They may never have had a chance to begin with, right? but spend too much time. Oh, I'll become her best friend. And that way I'll get in. No, you're going to become her best friend and just stay, because like you've been watching too many romantic movies.
Yeah, true.
Right.
But I like the only thing, and I gotta promote this, is nothing wrong with being in the friend zone. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Yeah.
All you have, and I like from me, where I turn that into a benefit is because one day you might have to throw a function. And if you can detach yourself from, okay, I'm in the friend zone, accept it, you will have great party times. Like I like when I went to when I told you I went to the performance where I got in, right? There wasn't that many women. You know what I'm saying? It's a rap concert. And I remember I said to myself, I said that we talking amongst each other, and I was like, dang, they ain't have no girls. And we was like, dang, we got to be the ones that are bringing the girls. And that's one of the things where I think I was always able to pull that off and it was even before I got comfortable being in the friend zone. Once I got comfortable in being in the friend zone, throwing parties is easy. Like that's like I it be bugging me out when I threw a party for one of my friends like recently, right? And he was like, "Man, what if nobody shows up?" I was like, "Bro, like people are gonna show up. Like, what's wrong with you?" I was like, "It's me. Like people are gonna show up just because me. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have like people are gonna show up for you." And that's exactly what happened. I think that was the first time when my girlfriend like saw that I actually knew a lot of females. And she got to meet them, and I was just like, "Well, I'm cool with being in the friend zone. Like, it is what it is. These are my friends. Like, I don't do nothing with these women, and that's why I have to just promote that part. Like, it's nothing wrong with being in the friend zone. You need these women because if you have a function, you want to have the popping function.
Mm-hmm.
You always want to be known as the man who can bring the females. Like, I'm known as that even if I'm not taking them down.
So Quinn, you're digesting some of this stuff?
Taking notes, man. Taking notes. Always.
Yeah, Quentin, you got a new lease on life.
Yeah.
You can become whoever you want to be right now.
Okay, but see, that's perspective.
What's
As you have to see it that way. I didn't see it that way, say 4 years ago. I didn't see it that way 2 years ago. I only see that now. So it's like you have to grow to a point where you can actually see it that way. So now talking to you guys, listening to you guys, I see a different perspective on it.
Man, I don't know, man. That's why I can't wait till my son gets old enough. I'm gonna make sure I steer him in the right way. I'm already steering him in the right way. He already dealing with women. He's dealing with this little girl at the school. I was like, look, bro, we don't know about to crash out over little girls.
I'll tell you. But I mean, but back to that thing. Are we hypocritical? I mean, I don't know.
In life, you're going to be. In life, your opinion is going to change. So eventually, you will be known as a hypocrite. I mean, like you know what I'm saying. Like the only thing is like, it's up to the person who experienced it how they take it, and a lot of times, like some people just don't care.
Yeah, I'm the prime example of someone who just doesn't care.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, who doesn't like? You know what I'm saying. Like, it's your life. The only thing is like, life is based off the experiences that people have around you that kind of creates your life, but it's your life at the end of the day. And I don't know, like it's funny because like I don't know if that was always a thing, but like, did you guys ever feel like, oh, I'm about to hit 40, I'm about to be old, and it was over?
Nope.
No?
For me, nope. I mean, like
I thought that way when I was 20 that 50 was gonna be old, but as I got to 50, it was like, dude, it's not that old.
Dude, it's funny.
Yeah.
I'm still living like I'm in college. Except I mean, Ray Me's case, so things are different, right? The house is a little bit more tidy, but you guys have both seen that, dude. Who has a gym in their living room?
Right.
I've got a gym in my living room, right?
Right.
I mean, like, who got a big ass TV with a treadmill and a rebounder in front of it? What? Dude, because that when you were in college, you just had whatever you want, wherever you want. I mean, dude, when I was in college, I had the whole empty bottle display. Right? Like, just collecting all the booze that got empty during parties, and you have this crazy ass empty bottle display, right? I don't do that anymore. Now I have a full bottle display, but I mean, like, when I say I'm living my 20s, it's like I still do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. Right? I've always felt like I wanted to live that way. Right? Whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it. Right? That's why I got a gym in my house. Right? That's why my garage is full of crap I like to play with. Right? And it's not because life's too short. Right? I'm not doing that life's too short, I got to do it. No, I just want what I want when I want it. Right? I'm not trying to cram all these experiences into life because I feel it's too short. I just want to experience specific things because I enjoy them. Right? And my house looks like it. My house tends to be messy because I don't throw parties. I don't want to clean it up for anybody. Right? But that's just me. I mean, like, it's fun to be an adolescent when you're older. Right? Just imagine what the 18-year-old you would do if you had the money you got now.
Yeah. It's just like when I remember my uncle used to say that, man, if I was your age and I had the thought process I got now, and it's like, well, I now thinking about it, like he could have did that. You know what I'm saying? And I think the whole goal is just like, as long as you take care of yourself and then you start making a certain amount of money, the sky's the limit. Like you might not want to go out like Kevin Samuels, even though like, nobody dives deep into his case, but I don't know what happened with that guy. You know what I'm saying? He woke up with some woman and had a heart attack, after he had a new lease on life. But as long as you don't go out like that, you know what I'm saying, you'll be good.
Yeah. Remember, the average American male lives to 76, maybe probably 80 something plus now. Right? You have time to enjoy yourself. Right? What I'm just saying is, like, and people may feel differently. Don't rush into relation. I mean, like, you've had, it's kind of cool you've taken 4 years off, right? But just don't rush into new full-on relationships.
I'll start ghosting people.
People start doing that, people, I've seen that. They're serial monogamists. They're with somebody for a number of years, then they jump into another one long-term relationship. It's just...
One of my guy friends got divorced, and like about 2 years later, he was married. He was again? No, he was engaged in like the third, fourth year he was married. It was like, dude.
Yeah, dude, gotta...
Do you really know that lady that well?
I mean... Yeah, it's a terrible phrase, but you got to sow those oats.
I ran into an older lady who, she was telling me that like her dating pool, like I want to say she was like 60. She's like a widow, right? So she hopped back in the dating game, and she was talking about how the men that she comes across can't keep up. Like nobody has the money to travel with her or do certain things with her. Where I was like, damn. I was like, I gotta make sure I'm on that level because I don't want to be like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, it was very interesting talking to her where I'm like, okay, I get it in that sense. And she's not a bad looking woman either. You know what I'm saying? I would travel with her. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So am my oats with this old, like it doesn't matter. But the whole thing is like, I just feel like that's all you really need. If you got it financially and you're good like physically, man, go do that shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's why the financial side is important. Honestly.
What, traveling?
Honestly, as a if you're in your like 50s and you find yourself single, I mean, and everyone's different, right? But if I found my if I was if I had was in my if I was so single in my 50s, you're really just looking for. I mean, when I say a good time, it's not necessarily like a bunch of meaningless one night stands, but like you're looking for somebody to experience stuff with. I mean, a group of people to have fun with, right? So a bunch of people you're just seeing to have fun, right? So if you're a spec case, and that's why money's so important. If you're really dialed in financially, you can have like 6 or 7 different women of different ages that you're experiencing different things with.
Yeah.
Right? Like for example, right? Right. I'm really into motorcycles, right? Obviously, as the helmets kind of indicate, right? My wife doesn't like motorcycles. Okay, I mean when we were first married, dude, I own a biker bar. Obviously, she married a person who likes motorcycles. I own the biggest biker bar in Southeast Asia. Right? It was a big part of my life, right? And she would ride in them occasionally back then, but she was never really comfortable. And now she just doesn't like to ride. Okay. On occasion, she'll come out with me, but it's one of those things. Like she's paying. When she goes out and ride with me, she's paying for sex, right? It's an activity that she does not enjoy that she does because I do, right? Now, if I was single at this age, I would have a friend. I would have a female friend that I ride with. That rides. I don't want to say it. Basically, she rides behind me, like that. There's that person who's into that, right? Now maybe I have another friend. Maybe she's not so much into food. Like I've owned the biker bars, the restaurant. I mean, like I know food, right? Maybe I have another foodie friend who's really a professional in that range, right? But maybe she doesn't like motorcycles, or shooting, or cars, right, or other things. And maybe I have somebody else that and like you said, sometimes you want intelligent conversation. Okay, maybe I have a friend that I meet that we just that's our thing. We talk, right? Because you're never going to meet somebody that has all the same interests as you, right? That's rare, right? But if you're a single person at an older age, you can afford a bunch of different things. You can have a whole bunch. You can have a person who is each one of those things. And who cares if you're covering the bill, right? If they're a great conversationalist, but they're not financially well off, who cares? They'll cover that bill, right? If she's a really cool person who you're going to ride with, yeah, I'll pay for all. I mean, like that's the beauty of being financially settled, right? Is that you can enjoy yourself with companions in the moment that are into what's happening. And you're they're and depends on the age. I mean, like they're experiencing something new. They're experiencing something that they could not experience on their own. That's you're providing the experience. I mean, like it's everything. There's an exchange. Whether it's you can look at that. I mean, almost everything is transactional. Right, and that's the great thing about this way. Okay, when I was single and dating younger women, they get to experience things for the first time. Okay, and you get to experience those same things that you're used to, but when you're with somebody who's experiencing it for the first time, it's almost like it's fresh for you too. Right, like if somebody's never been to New York before and you have a bunch of times, right, it's getting boring for you. But now you're taking all those same places that you're so used to, and they're like, it's a whole fresh new experience for them, and it's new for you too now. Right. So that's the beauty about the young, right? Since you can provide new experiences, and what's old to you becomes new again.
Yeah, that's why I love all the younger women.
Yep. And of course, the older ones have benefit too, right? A lot of the older women are going to be a whole lot more comfortable with what they want.
Yeah.
And more willing to try things that younger women may be too shy to.
Nah.
Oh, you'd be surprised. I mean, like, I've
Well, I mean, but also it's like there's an abundance of women because I think it flips. There's women who don't know that will do it to where there are certain women that just not going to do it. They've been there, done that, or if they never did it, and it's like, why am I going to try this now?
Yeah. Now, on the flip side of things, I mean, like, this advice is for Quentin. At the same time, it's for anybody out there who finds themselves single again or still single, right? If you're in your 50s, man or woman, and you're still single, maybe that permanent relationship life is not for you, right? Maybe it's time to get out there and start sowing your oats both ways. I mean, an older lady can find, they can find any number of guys of many ages, okay, no matter what you look like. Well, let's not take that back. You got to at least be self-respecting enough to take care of yourself to a degree.
Yeah.
Right. But as long as you're not the outlier who's seriously like let themselves go, there's always somebody out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the funny thing, women, I don't see any reason why women should be complaining about not being able to find guys. Pretty much a woman of any reasonably, any woman who takes care of themselves reasonably can pretty much get sex whenever they want it. Okay. A good relationship, maybe not. You just got to be able to reassess. I don't want to call them standards, but you have to reassess what it is that you want out of it. Maybe it's unattainable. Maybe it's just unrealistic. Right? Like the whole thing, dude, what I don't get is the whole like height thing. Have you seen that online where like women are just, oh man, he's got to be 6 feet plus. Right?
The thing about that height thing, I've never been tall. Raymond,
that?
you have to tell me about that.
What, being tall for a woman?
Yeah, no,
I've only known one real woman that was taller than me.
But their category thing is like they got to be a certain height, right? Never quite got. I mean, I can understand if a certain height is something they're into, like as a sexual thing. I can kind of see that if they're attracted to tall guys for some like animalistic reason. I can see that, right?
I mean, it happens. I don't know. I feel like it can go both ways for this kind of example, but for a woman, right? I can almost feel like you feel like looking down upon somebody is like, it's almost like you dating a kid in a sense. Yeah, like, or on the other hand, it could, being taller than certain men, probably that you might be dealing with an insecure man.
I guess so.
You know what I'm saying? Because
that's I guess the only reason why I like being tall is that I'm bigger than a lot of guys. I mean, like, like, not just tall but broad, right? I tend to be bigger, right? And Raymond's definitely bigger. Raymond's got.
There's not a lot of people that's taller than me.
Yeah, you got like 4 inches on me at least, right?
Yeah, but like
you're what, 6'4"?
Yeah, well, 6'3". But I like when I encounter people that I have to look up to, I do feel some type of way. So I can only imagine
if you have to look up to somebody that's a big ass dude.
Yeah, and it does it don't make me like I don't feel insecure, but it's like damn, like I'm looking up to you. So I can only imagine people who constantly deal with that. Like somebody who constantly deals with me, and I'm always looking down upon them. I can only imagine. You know what I'm saying? So I get it from a woman perspective. Like, yeah, I only want somebody a certain height. I get it.
But having that set in stone as a must, like, okay, when I was dating, height wasn't I would easily, I've had a couple girls taller than me, right? 6'2", 6'3".
I think a lot of that is
novel. It's a novel thing, right? But I've had a lot of girls shorter, right? height never really matters. It's all about the overall package, right? A smaller girl could be really attractive if she was proportional to her height, right?
Yeah.
There are some super tall girls who just look awkward. And I've seen some tall guys who look awkward too. They're like, it's like, I don't know. I mean, like there has to be, as an overall package. That's the reason why I can never understand. Like a girl 5'1" making a demand that the guy's got to be at least 6 feet tall or 5'10". That's weird. Like you're 5'1". Why do you need to have a guy who's 5'10"?
Come up to his waist.
Right.
Right.
I mean, the cool thing is that, the only ones that, if I was in the pool now, the only ones that I wouldn't be, if I have to be over 6 feet, there's a problem. Right. Mm-hmm. But as long as I'm still in the game for the 6 foot and under range. Right. But girls who like, if I see a profile that says, oh, she's 5'2", and you must be 6'3", it's like, that's weird. It's like, even if they wanted someone 6 feet, I'll be like looking at that going, I'm still not going to respond to that person because that's just a weird request. It's kind of like you have to have a mole on your cheek.
Mm-hmm.
It's very specific. It's like you must have back hair. Like, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Why is that so strange?
Specifics.
Right. I can kind of understand now if it is a fetish thing. Okay, I can get that. Okay. But the reason why most of these people put these height things down is because they're looking for a specific package to be dating. Right? It's not a fetish anymore. It's not like, so obviously some guys like breasts, some guys like ass.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Some guys like feet. Okay? Those are all fetish things, and that's okay. Okay? Yeah. If a woman is putting that down, like, if her profile says, just looking for a good time, must be 6 feet tall, I like tall dudes. Okay. That's a thing. That turns her on. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Right? But if her profile indicates she's looking for something serious and she's requesting that you have to be 6 feet or over, okay, you got to make $250 a year. Okay, you have to be from with ass getting that's a recipe for a bad relationship.
But see, also, I think he might only experience that if he's on online dating. Like Quinn, have you ever done online dating? Ooh, you enter in a whole different world. Yeah, online dating is. I've online dated.
You have? I never have. I mean, I'm talking about it because I'm reading about it, but I've never. I just see women with those very specific requirements, and they're looking for something serious as a red flag.
Okay,
if they have specific requirements and they don't want anything serious, like, okay, now usually those requirements now are going to be like, you got to be a certain height, you got to be a certain body type, because that's what they like. Right. I've seen other ones where they you have to have long hair.
Yeah.
Right. Others where you
have hair.
Or you have to have hair, or others like you have to like a certain kind of music. I mean, like, that's a type thing. That's okay. Right.
Yeah.
But Raymond, so you've done the online. Do you recommend that over? See, I've only met people in live places, events, bars.
Like well, be honest with you, I met my baby mama online dating. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I forgot what Apple was at. And I think, like, really what kept us going, because she was going to get rid of me. Like, she thought, she found out I was a little bit wilder than what I was. We went on, like, it was supposed to be the last, like, date, I would say. We went to this place, met her up, you know what I'm saying? She said nothing about breaking up with me. We walked into the parking lot and this lady had fell on like the not the curb, but like the, what is it? The speed bump? Oh, not the sidewalk.
Oh, like the parking bump? The parking
bump? The parking bump. She fell on that and man, bleeding everywhere.
Oh shit.
I was like, oh, let's go help her out. Helped her out and everything like that. And I think that's what showed her that I was a caring person.
Oh.
And then things kept going from there. From online dating experiences, I can just tell you like it can go a couple ways, right? Um, you can't. It's like a bet almost. Like you might hit some where it's just like instantly you click, or you might have to go through a couple till you find like that real diamond in the rough. I've had a couple experiences. I've had experiences where the first person I met, we clicked, it was on. I've had a couple, like I have my experience with my baby mom. I've had other experience where it's just like I had to go through 5 girls that was irritating as hell until I got to the sixth one, and I'm like, okay, it was worth it. I mean, I I think the only thing that I didn't do in the online dating world, and I can share the experience because I was being pressured to do it. I wasn't in that mode. During the pandemic, you were able to just take down anything. It was really like people just posting profiles just to know who you were, and you were able to just hop in and get some instantly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one of my friends. I think he caught an STD doing all that. He was
Yeah.
going crazy during that
I
time.
didn't know. I mean, like, obviously, I mean, that's I think for me, what I enjoy about part of what I enjoy about being married is that I don't have to spend any energy in that area anymore. I
Yeah,
don't
I
have
mean,
to.
you're gonna spend some energy, but it's fun swiping left, swiping right. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got women at the palm of your hand, pretty much.
I
You
guess
know
that's
what
what
I'm
it
saying?
sounds like, right?
But like to what you were saying, right? Meeting people in real life,
I love that.
it does not like online dating still like I feel like it don't compare. I like
Yeah,
granted, I hmm?
it sounds like two different. I mean, like, because what's fun about the in live case? So I spent a lot of my life in bars, right?
uh
And honestly, that's not where you want to build relationships. Okay, but
nah,
that's not what I'm there for, right?
right.
I mean, I'm there to hang out, have a good time, and then whatever happens, happens. I mean, like, I show up either just myself or with a bunch of friends, right? And then you just start looking around. I mean, it, what's fun is that the selection, like,
Yeah.
you're not limited. Okay, that's what's fun about that situation.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I was just in the club, 21 to 60. And it was all like it was some big ones, thick ones, skinny ones, fat ones. It was all everything. It's all about how you're going to make your approach. And a lot of men don't approach women these days, so it's even easy. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you got your confidence up
Dude, why
and
is
you're ready
that?
to
Why
approach
don't a lot of
women,
men approach women? Why is that?
um, well, okay, so I remember like online dating. I met this girl and she was like, "Yeah, you LA guys don't run and talk a lot. You guys don't do this, y'all don't do that." And I would say like I was in that predicament at one point in time when I didn't have all my confidence all the way together. But once I got it together, like one, I learned that a lot of people, some people are lame, don't really know how to approach women, um, haven't had enough experience doing it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, like if you don't have experience doing it, you're just not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And then like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we don't have those friendly competitions anymore of who can get the most numbers.
I think that's because that kind of stuff is frowned upon among the younger generation.
Yeah, I think it
Like
is.
the whole like objectifying.
Mhm.
See, that's the funny part. See, I don't mind being objectified.
Yeah,
Women can objectify me all they want. I don't mind that at all. And I don't see it as objectifying. I see it as a compliment.
right.
The same way that, I mean, you're okay. So, I guess okay. So the kind of bars I'm hanging out in, right?
Mhm.
I hang out in a lot of biker bars. Right? I do the whole bike.
Mhm.
Well, a lot of different. I mean, like depending what I'm doing in the moment, right?
You're right.
Um, like I remember, I was in financial services a long time ago.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'd go to the I go to the bars where all the finance bros would be.
Right.
right? So everyone's in suits, right? Everyone's business looking, right? Go to
Mm.
those bars. Of course, I ride motorcycles, so I go to biker bars, right? Go to clubs a lot. Okay. And all the places I'm going, they are where people are looking to hook up. That's the main activity in these places, right? So I know if I'm there, they're there for the same reason I'm there,
Right.
right? That's why I really mean some guys will advocate for meeting women in places like grocery stores. And
Then
I guess it
Armand, that's the
works.
best place to meet them.
Yeah, but a lot of times they're looking for something more than just a good time.
Nah, Armand,
You don't
like
think so?
if you meet a woman in a grocery store, that means she can cook.
Necessarily, Raymond, you have to check what's in her cart.
I mean, yeah, you can check
Because
what's in her car.
if it's all those frozen foods that you just put in
Dude,
the microwave, she might not be able
But
to.
see, that's what I'm saying though. You get a better gauge of what
you
type of
can know
woman
what
you
they
deal
are.
with. Like I'm telling you, like clubs and bars. I've met women in clubs. Oh, dang, I've met a couple of women in clubs and bars.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't say nothing bad about those women either. But clubs and bars, cool. But like just meeting women in random spaces like that, I feel like it's the best place. Like I think I remember I met this beautiful woman and like I felt bad. But I mean, I ain't gonna say I felt bad. It's just I know I can't talk to her at this point in time. Fine, man, she was fine. And all I did was just make a simple comment to where it went a little bit too far. Where I was like, all right, let me stop talking to her real quick. All right, I gotta go. Like those are the best. Those are the best type of people to meet. I feel like it. You
Huh.
know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that this girl I met in a shoe store. Just talking to her at the shoe store with her son. I was like, "Oh, where are you getting cleats, son?" And it just went from there. Like, it it's like a shoot. Like I remember my dad told me that. Like he was like, "Man, it's like shooting fish in a barrel." When he went to Atlanta, he came out to Atlanta with me. He was hitting on women in IKEA. Like you know what I'm saying? It was like they was everywhere. I feel like it's just like that. It doesn't matter. Like if you, man, in the most randomest spots, man. I remember I met this beautiful woman at a jazz festival one time,
That makes
and it was
sense.
like the, huh?
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Places like just random places. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying like outside the club, yeah, it can go down anywhere. You just gotta be ready for it to go down anywhere.
So, Quentin,
Yeah.
how you feeling about this now?
Well, I appreciate the help, fellas.
I know we didn't expect this to turn into this. You know, I had other topics. We can save the other topics for later.
Yeah, we
You
can.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, as
Well,
long
I
as
was
like
supposed to remind you on the dinner jacket.
the what?
The dinner jacket, Armand.
Oh shit! Yeah, we were talking about. Okay, this is before we started recording. We're
What?
talking about fancy restaurants,
Uh-huh.
and I years ago, I go to. Okay, this doesn't happen anymore, really, right? There was a time where certain restaurants required a very specific dress code,
Yeah,
right? Okay, men must wear jackets in certain
right.
restaurants. Okay, so Lowry's was like that a long time ago. Like
Mm.
Lowry's the prime rib, it still exists. And I went there and I went there jacketless. Yeah,
And what they do?
they offered me a jacket. They have jackets for guests who didn't bring jackets. Yeah, it's a restaurant jacket. So like okay, so right now I'm wearing actually believe it or not, this is not part of a suit. This is a cashmere sport coat, right? This is a sport coat. And
Yeah.
that's what it is. So the jacket they offered me was almost exactly like this.
Uh,
Okay. It was by Ralph Lauren. So it was a freaking
wow.
polo jacket. It had a
Nice.
freaking Ralph Lauren crest on it right here, right? And
Yeah.
they had this, I don't know how many they had there, but they had my size. So I'm walking in and, I've been there. I mean, I used to eat there every other week, I think it was. And one
Yeah.
day I showed up without a jacket. I didn't have in the car, nothing. I was wearing, what was I wearing? Well, it was weather obviously that was warm, so I didn't have a jacket. Okay, didn't even realize they didn't bring it. Right, so I think I was wearing like linen pants or something like that, and a dress shirt. Right, it was oh yeah, it was all linen. It was like it was like a summer day, right? So I'm walking in at reservations, and me and my girlfriend go, and no jacket, right? And I'm sorry, sir, but we require that all male guests wear jackets. And I'm like, oh shoot, and I didn't have in the car, and it's like it's not a problem, sir. We can provide you with one, right? And they look me over, and they're like, what, 44 regular? I'm like, huh? How'd you know? Right?
That's their job.
We do this quite often.
And they bring out this sweet ass. Oh, it was like I think it was burgundy colored.
Mm-hmm.
This freaking burgundy Ralph Lauren sport coat with a freaking RL crest right here.
Mm-hmm.
It was sweet. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I want to keep this.
They didn't let you buy it?
What's that?
I would let you buy it.
No, I mean like I never actually stole the jacket, right? But I sat there. I mean, I had dinner with it, right? And our girlfriend's like, dude, that's somebody else's jacket. I'm like, no, it's not really somebody else's jacket. It's their jacket for guests who didn't. I was wondering how many sizes they had back there.
It's somebody else's jacket. Like, you know what? I did never thought about it like this, Armand. Like, if I was to do that, I would go to all like the laundromats. Because this is how I shop now. I go to laundromats, and the stuff that people forget to pick up, I buy it. And it'd be some nice stuff. And somebody probably left, like, that was probably somebody's jacket or mine.
No. They had a bunch of me, like, because they have them there for guests who don't bring.
They all was the same jacket though.
What?
They probably buy those in bulk.
It's multiple sizes. They have a bunch of different sizes in the jacket, right?
But it was the same jacket.
Same jacket. It's the same jacket. They're
Oh,
all
okay.
the same color. And I don't know if they had it made by Ralph Lauren for them, but when I'm in there, I saw several guys wearing the same jacket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I would go to the cleaners, buy a whole bunch of jackets, have them in here. Like, look, bro, you gotta wear a jacket here. Boom.
And that's the funny
Want
part.
to keep it? This is how much it costs.
See, in other times I've been there, I've seen a bunch of guys wearing the jacket. I mean, not a bunch. Maybe each time 3 guys every time wearing the jacket. It had never dawned on me that was the house jacket until I forgot to bring a jacket one day. And then they brought it out, and I'm realizing, oh my God, wait a second. Now I'm remembering back. I've seen guys wearing this. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Now that's the Lowry's jacket.
It's the Lowry's jacket. These are the guys who forgot to wear jackets. Right, so I thought that the dress code was still in force. So last time I went there, I came dressed like this, right? And when I walked in, dude, things had gone downhill. A bunch of guys wearing, I guess jeans aren't bad, but
yeah.
Like I'm wearing jeans right now. So this is there's a certain look. You got the jeans with the expensive sport jacket, nice belt, nice shoes. But these guys are wearing like jeans and joggers and then like jogging shoes without a jacket. Right? It's, I mean, like it's got, and this conversation started because I was telling Quentin that the first night I was in Vegas, we had dinner at a really nice Italian restaurant in the hotel though. Like it's expensive, fine dining, real fine dining. Restaurant was beautiful. But Vegas is a weird place because you see
Vegas is not a real place.
What's that?
Vegas is not.
It's not a real place. No, it's not. But so I'm dressed similar to this because it's a different sport coat, right?
Yeah.
It's the look I'm sporting because this is nice for a nice restaurant. And I walk in there because part of the whole ambiance of it is what you're wearing. So you walk in and it's a beautiful restaurant. The food's awesome. Service is great. You and your date, whether it's your spouse, but like you're dressed up for the occasion. It's a nice time, right?
Right.
Looking across the room, and there's some dude wearing like a Bellagio t-shirt.
Oh wow!
And shorts. His wife is wearing some crazy ass, super bright sweater. Right? It's a hoodie, is what it is. And the guy's wearing a fanny pack. Okay, look over there. And there's some other dude wearing shorts. No flip-flops, so Quentin asked about flip-flops. He's wearing shorts and sneakers. And they weren't wearing tank tops. But still, they look so out of place in this restaurant. I mean, like, imagine going to like, imagine going to like, I don't know, a hunting lodge environment, and there's somebody dressed in a full clown suit in the middle of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what, and then okay, of course there were a bunch of other people who were dressed like me, similar to what I was wearing. I mean, like there's a bunch of people who are dressed for the restaurant, and then there's an equal number who are not. It's just the weirdest thing. It's like half of these people look like they just came out of Disneyland. Right. It's the weirdest look. I mean, like, but that's Vegas.
Right.
Right. I mean, okay. So I mean, you'd never. Okay. So nobody walks into Lowry's looking like that. And I'm sure that those people would not have been allowed to enter. Okay, like at Lowry's. Because I don't know how many there are, but the one that I go to is the one off of, what's that street again in Beverly Hills? No, it's not Beverly Hills. Is it? It's not. It's on, shoot, what street is that again? It's Restaurant Row. It's where there's there used to be a Benihana. I think it's gone now.
Well, Sunset?
No, there's across from Lowry's, there was a restaurant called the Stinking Rose. I think that's gone now too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's La Cienega.
Oh,
Pretty much La Cienega and Wilshire. That's where Restaurant Rose, all the expensive ones.
really? Oh, yeah.
Dude, I've been going there since the '80s. I remember one of the early times I went there. I was walking around with my date, and right there in the corner of La Cienega and Wilshire, there's actually there was an exotic car dealership on the ground floor of this tall building, and Mike Tyson was selling his freaking Testarossa.
Mm.
And I remember looking at it. It's on one of those turning pedestals. And he had boxing gloves sewn into the seat backs. It said Iron Mike. It was sweet.
Really?
Yeah. That's how long I've been going to that place for food, man. I love Lowry's. But in that area, you would never see anybody dressed inappropriately. And I don't think those restaurants would let you in if you were. Nah. That's the restaurant that made me wear a jacket that they gave me, right?
Yeah, you can't be dressed inappropriately, but I can't walk in there with a t-shirt now.
What's that?
You can't dress inappropriately. Like, I'm not coming there with flip-flops and shorts on.
Yeah.
But I can't walk in there with a t-shirt and a hat, and they'll let me in.
They probably would. But if you probably have to have a jacket of some sort over it.
Probably, I might not have a jacket on. I'll just go in there with the t-shirt on. It like.
As long as it looks appropriate. I mean, like, there's
as long as you look appropriate, and a lot of times, like, you just have to like act like you got some money.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. That's all you got to do. You don't have to be flashy, but you got to act like you have some type of money.
Yeah, I remember going there one time. This is the funniest thing. I go there. This is 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is when I was going like at least every other week. Going there with my date, and we're looking at the other table is pretty close to us, has a middle-aged Japanese dude and these two little Japanese girls.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I don't know if you guys have ever eaten there before. They used to have this cut. There's different cuts you can have. It's all the same thing. It's all prime rib, right? Unless you go to the freaking salmon. But the cut determines the thickness of it and how much meat you're getting, right? So you can choose wellness and you can choose the cut. Okay. I ordered what's called a Diamond Jim Brady.
What?
Yeah, it's called the Diamond Jim Brady cut. It is almost 2 pounds of meat with a bone in it. So there's a bone. There's the actual. So a lot of the other cuts don't have the bone. Okay, so they slice it. They slice it table side. So these big ass beautiful Art Deco carts that they open up, and there's whole racks of prime rib in these spring loaded compartments, and so they cut at the table. And the Diamond Jim Brady is almost 2 pounds. I think it is 2 pounds of meat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the Japanese table, the guy and the two young schoolgirls, they all got Diamond Jim Brady's, right? Big ass cuts of meat, right? And we were watching. So my date that evening and I spent the time watching them eat, because those little girls put all that food away. It was gone. They left nothing. The what's it called? What's the pudding thing called? It's actually a bread side, but it's I forget what it's called. They called it a pudding, but it's not. They ate it all, and that meat and they didn't seem like they were gonna collapse. They didn't seem food coma. They just comfortably ate 2 pounds of meat. It was bizarre. We're looking at them and going, how they must have been no older than 10.
Mm.
I don't know how they ate all that food. And the dude drank a full bottle of wine.
Damn.
And they were all skinny.
Well, Tuesday.
They were all skinny. Crazy. Now, I have no problem eating the full damage in Brady. It's not a big deal for me. Okay? But I'm not like this little tiny Japanese girl, right? So the girl I used to go there with a lot would always get, I believe she would get the California cut, which are their thinner slices. So it's for a lighter appetite.
Yeah.
Dude, now I gotta go. I'm feeling the urge for some Lowry's.
And go check it out.
And it does make a difference. I mean, like you can get prime rib at other places too. Like you can go to like BJ's Brewery and get a prime rib on a Friday, but it's nowhere near the same. It's not the same at all.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding, that's it right there. And Lowry's has that spinning salad bowl. It's kind of cool. They bring out this lettuce on it's a bowl with a bunch of crushed ice inside it. And they have another bowl inside it, so they've compacted it down. And what they'll do is they'll get the smaller bowl, which is made of metal, spinning inside the ice, so it chills the bowl. So they're spinning that salad bowl, and then they're pouring the dressing in from a height. So it's a show.
Yeah,
it's really cool. It's a show. So it's someplace that if you haven't been to, Remy, you've been there before, right? It sounds like you're familiar.
No, I'm just familiar with the show.
Oh, okay. Like Lowry's, if you haven't been there, you should go there. Another good one. And actually, I think we should go there sometime. We should go to a place called Clearman's Steak and Stein.
I've never heard of that.
Okay, so if you guys are familiar with the Clearman Northwoods restaurants, they're the restaurants. They the buildings look like they're in the Klondike. They look they're like wooden. They're like wood cabins. Yeah. Log cabins with snow on the roof. Those are the Clearman's Northwoods restaurant, Northwood Inns. Those restaurants are theme restaurants. Opened up like in the 60s. I forget the guy's name who opened them all up, but he also opened up a couple other theme restaurants. There was the Magic Lamp out in the Inland Empire that has an Arabian Nights theme, like a Aladdin theme, and the Steak and Stein is designed to be like a Bavarian hunting lodge. Okay, but it's a legit like 50s/60s steakhouse. It's been there since then. It's either in Whittier or Pico Rivera. I can't remember what it's.
Pico Rivera.
It's a Pico Rivera. There it goes. And it's been there since like the 60s, maybe even the 50s. Okay, it's an old school steakhouse, and the food is excellent. It's huge too. When I remember, they brought out the baked potato, which was massive, right? And you can have whatever you want, butter, cream, sour cream, whatever. When they brought out the butter to put on the potato, it was an entire stick of butter.
Woo!
The entire stick was cut up and like it was they brought out to me and it was cut up in slices, but it was the entire stick of butter. And they're like, butter? I'm like, yes, please. And they just pretty much just put it all in the potato. Yeah. The entire thing, man. And it's all served. I mean, like the things are cut and served tableside. It's like it's an experience. To me, it's almost better than Lowry's because it doesn't have that chain feel. Right, Lowry's is elegant, but it still is a chain. This place is very much like a mom and pop. It's awesome. Clearman's Steak and Stein, but they did have a menu revamp pretty recently, so hopefully it's still good. There we go. Hold on, I got to use the bathroom now too.
Well, I mean, I think it's probably a good time to end.
12:51.
Is it really? Okay, so we're gonna. So I will sign out before in the bathroom then. Okay, so that's the jacket story. I did not keep the jacket. I should have kept the jacket, but yeah, maybe next time we'll talk about times we've stolen articles of clothing from. Okay, the one thing I did steal, I've stolen bowling shoes.
Why?
Bowling alley.
You can't wear those things. Those things slide everywhere.
Okay, so remember, it's the 80s. Okay, so it's kind of cool to. They're multicolored, right?
Right.
So bowling shoes now are different, but back then they were all leather. They were all leather. They were quality shoes. I mean, like, so I stole bowling shoes. So what I did is I walked in wearing really shitty sneakers, right? Because they don't need your ID. They just need your shoe. So you give them one shoe and they give you the pair, right? Because you can't walk out with their shoes and leave your shoe behind. But you can if you have really crappy shoes. Anyway, that'll end it. I got to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to sign off. Once again, thanks for being here. I'm Armand.
It's your boy Raylo. What's up, man?
You Tatum here.
Thank you for being here for another episode, and we'll see you in the next one.